Well, a very pleasant good evening. You're watching Southside Maverick football on the Mavericks Sports Network. Tonight we're in Siloam Springs to take on the Siloam Springs Panthers to close out the 2024 football season. I'm Keith Evans, along with my broadcast partners Terrell King and Coach Doug Pogue. We'll be calling the action tonight. And gentlemen, I'll just have to say this, it seems like it's been a fast season.
Yes, it has. And particularly, I've been gone and out of the loop for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and gosh, I've missed so much. But then on the other hand, I guess with the last couple of weeks, I really hadn't missed a whole lot.
Not in the way of football. But,
right.
Yeah, Keith, this is going to be kind of a tough one for me because I got a lot of these guys that it's going to be kind of tough to watch them play their last game out here.
And as we go through the night, Terrell's going to talk about some of the players, the seniors this year, and got not a real big group of seniors this year, and Southside in the future should be pretty good. But, guys, it's been I don't know how to say it, an interesting year. I think this team, they come in 0-6 in the conference, but I think this team could actually easily have been at least 4-2 coming into this ball game with a couple of breaks. And, it's been a strange season. I think it kind of goes with the weather. The weather has been bad, and now once we've got rain and it's a little bit chilly, it's actually football weather, 10th week of the season.
That's right. Finishing up the right way, but sure would have been nice, like you said, to kind of pull off a couple of those close games mid of the season and, have a little bit better conference record and maybe continue the season a little bit farther.
Yeah, and guys, we look at last week. Not really a lot of good happened last week for the Mavs. I mean, they fell behind big early and got a couple of tough breaks off the bat. You had the kickoff return to start the ball game. That's been one thing we've been able to do with Peyton Zimmerman this year is have the kickoff returns. Mm-hmm. So you've had that advantage. Well, Greenwood gets a kickoff return, and I knew it wasn't our night when we saw a ball actually go the opposite. It was a really sweet chip shot, Doug. It's something you'd be proud of that hit and went back the other way.
Something I hadn't been able to do no matter what. So.
Hey, we gave you credit for it, though.
Yeah, we did.
But it was a very emotional week last week, guys, obviously, with what happened with Isaiah Arrington and his mom and sister. It was a tough game to get through, but, we got through it, and it's been an unusual season for the Mavs. But last week, I thought a couple of players that kind of got going there in the ball game were Joaquin Fox along with Jaden Webb.
Absolutely, and the one thing about those guys, you really didn't have a whole lot of good news coming out of that game, but you did have 4 rushing touchdowns, so give kudos to those guys for fighting hard, the whole game, and give credit to that offensive line, keeping holes open. And
you're playing a team too tonight. Siloam Springs, I think they're 1-8 coming into the ball game. Their lone victory was over Heritage, and I was talking to the guys down there, and they were pretty excited that they beat a 7A team, yeah. But it was Heritage,
right?
So. But it's going to be a lot of fun tonight, guys. It's going to be tough conditions to play in, and you're really going to see a lot about your real fans out here tonight when both teams coming in not with conference victories, and it's raining right now.
And that wind's blowing, and it's makes it a little bit worse. And yes, it's not a great night to be out there in the weather. I know that.
Yeah, and we're glad to be up here, and we're expecting a visit at some point, maybe from Coach Williams, to maybe come up here and get to see him. I was kind of looking forward to this trip up here, but it's I'm still seeing a lot of people huddled underneath the concessions, which I don't blame them at all till the game gets started. And it's football weather, and that's what it's a shame it took 10 weeks to get to football weather, but it's good to go here. But gentlemen, ask both of you guys this question. This game right here for the Mavs, how big would a season-ending victory be for the Mavs?
Well, like you said earlier, we talked about it, and it's going into the last game and having a victory on your belt going into all season gives you something positive to work during the all season, and hopefully that they can turn things around for next year going forward.
Well, and like we were talking about the seniors earlier. I mean, you really love to see those guys go out on a big W, and like Coach said, give you something to build on for next year too.
And kind of stepping a little bit forward too next year, Southside going to have. I think you're going to see a similar situation on that offensive line. You've played a lot of sophomores this year. You're going to still, because they'll be juniors and. That offensive line should be really good next year. Offensively, if Southside can find a running back, next year to fill in for Joaquin Fox and Jaden Webb. But offensively, they should be pretty good.
I think so. And, you know, you got to think quarterback's going to be a little bit better next year. Offensive line, they're going to be bigger, so they ought to be better. And, you know, those two things by themselves should help your offense. But you really don't lose just a whole lot. I mean, it's going to hurt losing Kincannon, but you don't really lose a lot of your receiving core next year either. So I really expect offense, you know, productivity to go way up next year.
They've got to be able to eliminate the mistakes, the penalties, and particularly the turnovers. That's what's been their Achilles heel all year long, is those turnovers. And you know, defensively they're not stout enough to be able to overcome some of those mistakes your offense makes.
Southside will kick off to Siloam Springs. Going to be a returnable ball that's dropped and picked up at the 10-yard line. Going to be hit, going to be dropped at the 16-yard line. That's pushes the pile a bit forward. Good gang tackling there by the Mavericks. Seeing several numbers getting off there, led by Miles Selby. Selby's been an interesting player too, Terrell, in the fact that I think you know, he's one of those seniors that paid his dues to get in the lineup, and actually when he's had a chance to play, he's done a good job.
He's looked really good. Flies around, makes plays from sideline to sideline.
You know, this senior bunch is was my first bunch at Southside, and it's you know, you kind of they're always special, but you know, them being seniors this year, it's kind of a special group, and there's not very many of them, and you know, Jaden Webb and Joaquin Fox and Ken Cannon and Dominic Parkinson.
Dane Marlette will be your quarterback for the Panthers. Handed off the running back of the middle is going to be hit and dropped at the 20-yard line.
That's Ethan Dunn. Ethan can learn how to play downhill, or at least react and go sideways and sideways. You know, he does a great job going downhill. It's the lateral stuff that he struggles with at times.
That was Gio Flores on the carry. Yeah, you can tell when Ethan Dunn makes the tackle.
Yeah.
Bring up second down. Here's a handoff to Flores again, and he's going to get across the 20 up to about the 22-yard line. Bring up third down, third and about 6 for the Panthers. Defense playing stout here as Panthers want to try to get the running game going. They'll go with a kind of a stack formation, 3 backs in the backfield, strong left. Marlatt looks to the sideline to get the play. Here's another handoff to Flores. He's going to be hit and dropped. A good job by the Southside defense. Leading the charge there was number 34, and that's what I like to see, guys. That's Layden Rowe on the tackle.
3 straight runs and 3 straight nothings.
You know, Layden Rowe's a sophomore, and he's gotten plenty of action. And
yeah, there's some kids on this team, too, the younger kids that are getting some playing time, but you got to be really excited about for this Maverick team. Obviously, you mentioned Rowe being one of them, and you know, I think defensive-wise, you know, get a couple of kids step up here. And there's a bop snap, and they really weren't coming after. They're going to try to set the return up, and it's going to take a Siloam Springs bounce and be dead right at the 47-yard line. Southside's first possession will be a nice opportunity to get some points here as they'll start this drive on their own 47.
I guess the rain had a lot dictated to their offense because I surely didn't understand their 3 plays. They just ran inside zone to the right. All 3 times.
And, Coach, what was interesting about that last call, too, they actually had strong left and they take it to the right.
Yeah.
That's what I was impressed with a couple of weeks ago with Russellville. They would the formations, they had different formations and would run different sets out of it and really kind of had the Southside defense confused. Here's a handoff that is Jaden Webb. Going to be hit and dropped. It's going to get they'll give him 2 yards up to the 49-yard line, brings up second down, 2nd and 8 for the Mavs. Well, gentlemen, that's the key. If they keep this game on the ground like this, and this will be a fast ball game.
A quick game on it. Maybe that's what they want. Just keep it on the ground, get that clock running, and go to the house, I guess.
Well, it kind of makes a difference too in the passing game a bit. You know, that ball getting wet, but also that same thing is you make a cut sometimes, and that defender could go down. Now we've got movement on the play. Going to get Southside for 5 yards here, and Coach Pogue, that's kind of what you talked about. One thing that kind of has been with this outside team, penalties and turnovers.
You play behind the sticks. It's just, and particularly, Blake has been prone to throw it to the other guys sometimes, and
well, it makes it a lot tougher when you know what's coming.
Right.
They can pin their ears back and bring up second down, second and 13. Here's Ford's going to go throw, going to be complete on a nice pitch and catch over there for the Mavs. I believe that's Peyton Zimmerman on the catch.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's Barry Lauermore. I think that's 18. He's got Zimmerman playing the slot. Yeah, that's Barry Lauermore on the catch. Southside's got some good receivers, guys. That you got plenty of returning players next year. That and I think you guys talk about Peyton Zimmerman. He's had an all-state year. Mm-hmm. Here's a handoff to Jaden Webb, and that's a nice run, a good hard run. And guys, that's what we were talking about with Jaden Webb. Man, just run between the tackles. Of course, that opportunity was really set up by the second down pass completion from Forsgren to Lauermore. Made it third down and a reasonable yardage.
Well, them numbers are hard to see.
They are tough. I thought that was
Is that
Peyton.
15 or 16?
I thought it was Peyton too, but it's 15.
Is it?
At least that's what the PA guy said. I had to double check myself.
No, the first reception I think was Lauermore though. Yeah, it was 19 actually. No, 18. Here's
18.
a pass completion going to be for about 6 yards. That's to Wilson Key. And that's what you guys were talking about, staying ahead of the sticks. Mm-hmm. You got 6 yards on first down. Bring up second down, second and 4. Yeah, I think we're going to be sitting in rain all night, guys. Look like it's kind of settling in. I think the forecast is probably to rain up until about halfway through tomorrow, then maybe the sun come out.
Yeah, and I think it's going to get heavy, too, before the end of this one.
I think the burn bans are gone. What do y'all think?
They are for the most part.
Yeah. So second down, second and 4. Here's a handoff, a nice block off that left side, a big hole there.
I think that's Zimmerman. I don't think Jaden cuts that well. But I might be wrong. It's just the numbers are so hard to see.
It's hard to read them.
Between 15
no, that's 15. That's actually Jaden Webb on the carry. Okay. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay. That's development. That's development during the year.
So you're saying you're impressed with his cutting ability?
Yeah, he did a pretty good job there.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line for the Mavs. Forsgren wants to throw. We'll swing it out. It's going to be complete. That's Zimmerman out there on the catch. Gets inside the 10. Will fight his way down and get inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line.
I think we got a face mask.
The horse tackle won. He went down funky.
He grabbed his face mask. Mm-hmm.
Hey, guys, I've got to get a shout-out. My son Trevor is actually listening to the ball, actually watching the ball game tonight in California with his father-in-law, Jerry Glover. I want to give a big shout-out to those two fire bells, Cheryl Glover and Lauren Evans. I know you all are listening, and it's great to be a fire bell.
That's awesome.
Be first and 10 for the Mavs. Be a penalty, and they'll mark it at the 4-yard line. First and goal for the Mavs.
Well, I know my son is listening at times. I don't know if he's listening tonight or not, but one of the times he said, "Dad, let me give you some advice," and I said, "Sure." And
did you take it?
No, well, he didn't have time, and went on to something else.
There's an inside handoff to the goal line. Touchdown, Southside.
Good job. Got a good push from the offense, surge from the offensive line.
I believe that was Jaden Webb on the touchdown for the Mavs. He did a good job running it. I like when he runs between the tackles. And that's what I've kind of noticed about this team, guys, is the fact that, we look to make that read call, and sometimes that just makes that play last a bit too long. When they just hit those quick hitters, it gives your line a chance to block.
Yeah.
Jaden keeping up his big roll right now. Had 3 touchdowns last game. See if he can get about 3 more of them this one.
Gentlemen, that was a 9-play drive for the Mavs, 53 yards. 4-yard touchdown run by Jaden Webb. And as you guys mentioned, too, the key obviously in that drive was the fact that they were able to stay ahead of the chains.
Yeah, even after the penalty, or especially after the penalty, you know.
Well, that's that after the penalty in the pass to Loudermore was the probably the key to the whole drive because they picked up about 8 yards on that and left them with third and very manageable. And I was looking at it, and they had to get to about the 42 for a first down. And I thought, well, surely if they don't make it here, they'll go for it.
Yeah, that was really put them in four-down territory, yeah. You went from second 13 to third and 5, which
right.
very makeable play. And Forsgren did a nice job of really getting that ball, and he had to pinpoint that ball to Loudermore. And Loudermore did a good job of catching the ball in these conditions. Here's the kickoff by Rodrigo Hernandez. Going to returnable here at the 13-yard line. Got an open field over there, and across the 40-yard line, we pushed out of bounds across the 45-yard line. That's Mikey McKinley on the return for the Panthers. Terrell, that's been a thing for the Mavs the last 2 or 3 ball games. Special teams have played well all year, but it seems like the last 2 or 3 games they've really struggled.
Yeah, it's like they're giving up that first step, and I mean it doesn't take much when those guys get that kickoff to get it up to full speed, and they make one man miss. They can get a long way in a hurry.
Got Flores in the backfield. They'll give it off to Flores. Going to come off the right side, and he's going to be hit. Going to get about 3 yards. There's Dominic Parkinson there for the Mavs, along with Ethan Dunn. And Layden Rowe again, guys.
Mm-hmm. Rowe's one of those guys. We started noticing his number on special teams. He's like always around the ball, and then next thing you know, he's out there starting on defense.
You know, another one, too, on special teams. We talked about Selby, but also Presley Chitwood.
Mm-hmm.
Going to get him in the backfield this time on a reverse handoff. Big old number 32 again, Ethan Dunn over there, along with a whole host of Maverick defenders. Bring up third down, 3rd and 14. Coach, I'll say this. If they run the ball here, I think they're pretty much determined they're going to run it.
They evidently they don't trust their quarterback very much, and they're kind of one-handed because they have yet to even come close to one attempt to pass.
Marlette will throw here. He rolls to his right. They're going to do a screen pass set up, and good job by Southside reacting to it. He's not going to get much there, maybe 1 or 2 yards, but yeah. Okay, let me ask you guys this. You're seeing what it looks like they're just going to do a short passing game. At what point on defense do you maybe come up and start playing press coverage?
Now they're going to go for it. They're going to try to draw them off sides.
It's kind of an interesting call here because you still would have 4th down, 4th and 6.
He's going to do a pooch kick.
Frank Broyles would be proud.
Yeah.
That's a good job, too, if he gets the roll there. No, it actually goes the other
way,
yeah.
Takes one of my sandwich.
I could have swore when I saw that ball hit it, there was a splash on the field.
It looks like it.
I guess that's the good thing about having turf.
Mm-hmm. Don't have to worry about it turning in mud.
Yeah, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mavs. They'll start this drive on their 25-yard line. We've got 5:12 to go here in the first quarter. Southside leads 7-zip. Very nice opening drive for the Mavs. It was an 8-play, 53-yard drive, 4-yard touchdown run by Jaden Webb. Webb very instrumental on the drive, several key runs. Going to throw a swing pass out, going to be complete. Makes the first man miss, and not going to be much there. I believe that's Zimmerman on the catch.
Got a block.
Mm-hmm.
And just, whiffed on a block. And
they're gaining maybe a yard on the play, and it was all Zimmerman just to get that yard.
Those are good. They could be really good passes, especially those either the bubble screen or the hitch pass, and because you have really good runners that can, make them break it, break a tackle, and all you need is just get a halfway decent block. And
here's a nice run by Webb across the 30-yard line, at the 32-yard line. Coach, on that too, is you say you miss a block. Does it happen sometimes where maybe the guy that's supposed to be blocking gets out too far ahead?
Yeah, he just, we tell them to chop their feet or, it's basically what they call, a stock block. And And that
Almost had an offsides there.
when you miss them, they can really punish a receiver.
Want to throw here. We'll throw the ball. It's going to be intercepted.
And seeing that's the whole problem. You got 3rd and 2, and see, I don't know how they can call it. I mean, that holding call there, that's pretty quick because, one, the ball got out of his hand so quick. And
Well, that's kind of been the microcosm of the Southside season. We've had a couple of penalties, a turnover, and we're still got 3:50 to go here in the first quarter. That's a big one. That's a big momentum switch right there. They'll start this drive on the Southside 44-yard line. Going to hand the ball off. He's got a little bit of a hole there. That is Ryan Estacio.
They fumbled the ball.
He fumbled it.
Yeah. And we got it. And I couldn't tell who came up.
Trying to see who's on the pile. We've got an injured Maverick who's down on the play. And with that injury, guys, let's go ahead and take a timeout. You're watching Southside Maverick football on the Maverick Sports Network.
Family is bigger than bloodlines, stronger than DNA. It's the circle we draw around the people that matter, the people we care about and care for, the folks who inspire us, guide us, root for us. Family means finding common ground, rolling up our sleeves, and making our way side by side. Armstrong Bank. Strength runs in our family.
Between life, work, and family, sometimes the person that you need to take care of the most is you.
At Fort Smith Therapy Health and Wellness, you're never alone. Through our counseling, we can help you regain control of your emotions, mental health, and life. We provide both face-to-face and virtual therapy services. Whether it's for your child, family, or yourself, Fort Smith Therapy is here to help your true self shine through.
Schedule your appointment today with Fort Smith Therapy Health and Wellness.
Here we go.
Welcome back to action. Southside will have the ball back. It'll be 1st and 10 at their 41-yard line following the fumble. And, guys, I just hate to say this, but that's kind of the deal where when teams struggle like that, both of them turn the ball over consecutive plays. Here's a nice run. That's going to be Forsgren on the run for a big play.
It was a zone read.
That's been a good play for Southside this year. Folks, we're having a little bit of a problem trying to see some of these numbers, so kind of bear with us as we go along in the ball game. Be 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line for the Mavs. Here's another handoff. That's a good play right there. He's at the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Southside. Tell you, Jaden Webb going to have a game to remember, guys.
Mm-hmm. Good for him. You know, Jaden he didn't start playing football until he was a 9th grader.
He's had a really good year. He's you look at the total yardage that he's put into it, and for this season, he's got to be over 1,000 yards, guys, total receiving and running. Rodrigo Hernandez in for the extra point. Up, and it's good. Southside now leads 14-zip. We've got 3:31 to go here. Gentlemen, a 2-play, 59-yard drive for the Mavs.
That's good.
Yeah, I sure like watching Jaden Webb run, but, you know, I miss watching him play basketball too, man. He fought so hard out there.
Well, tell your thing is, too, now you watch Jaden Webb running like this, you're thinking, man, can we get a red shirt?
Yeah, that's right. Get him back one more year. I got one for you, Keith.
Okay.
Where did you learn the word microcosm?
Did I say that?
You said something like about the microcosm of the season.
Okay, well.
I like it.
It's good, yeah. I don't know what it means, but it's a good word.
That's some like college stuff right there, man.
No, the word I want to use sometimes is discombobulated.
Oh, I do.
That's
like
the word,
that
guys. Discombobulated. Put it in a sentence as we go along here.
I can't even say that word much less.
You got to say it slow.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we'll be able to find a scenario for that word tonight.
Here's the kickoff, Bob Rodrigo Hernandez. He's done a good job coming in for Grayson. They're going to try to do a handoff, kind of a trick play, and fortunately they're able to pick it up and get across the 25-yard line up to about the 27-yard line. This will be the third series of the night for the Panthers.
It's one of those trick plays where they trick themselves.
Well, the problem with that play is it's a speed play and the ball's wet.
It's a little wet. No, that's all right.
We saw that on the first kickoff. They had trouble handling the kickoff. But so far for the Mavs, the passing game and everything, it really hasn't affected anything.
You know, the thing about trick plays, when you're not very good, they don't work.
Okay, I've got a text here, and I've been told that I can't use big words like that in basketball. So I think that may be
fair enough.
Yeah, I think that's Coach Brunk. Coach Brunk's texting me that. No microcosm in basketball. But Coach will let us use discombobulated. I know that. So
Motion.
got a motion penalty. It's not the way on senior night that the Panthers wanted to get this started. Be 1st and 15. Again, we've got 3:10 to go here. Southside leads 14-zip. And Terrell, you were talking about the seniors. Joe Kincannon, we were talking about this on the way up. I believe he's the only 3-year starter out of this
squad.
group.
Yeah, I think that's right. You got Derek Lacey out there too, but he's kind of first couple years on and off the field, but it's good to see those guys out there together.
It's a good run there across the 30 up to about the 31-yard line. Going to gain 9 on the play, brings up 2nd down, 2nd and 7. The thing with Derek Lacey, too, is one of those games last week, we really saw what Kane Archer was all about. Lacey had some really good coverage,
yes,
and they were still completing the passes. I mean, if there was just a small window that you could throw the ball in, that's where it went last week.
Well, and we had a couple of them. We saw it look like he actually got some fingertips on the ball, and they still made amazing catches.
Yeah, one got tipped up, actually, and here's a handoff up the middle, and there's a big hole, and he crosses midfield and will be chased down and pulled out of bounds inside the 25-yard line at the 28-yard line. I believe that was Ryan Estacio on the carry.
You know what that play was? The old trap.
Old belly trap.
It was. I haven't seen that. It's just right up the middle, and he kind of, the way they guard either traps, try to trap a 3 technique, and
going to take the ball back to the outside. They're going to hit him. That's what Southside's been able to do is when Siloam has tried to, and there's not a very smart play by Don Parkinson. They handed the ball off and got him in the backfield. That's Mason Short on the carry, but they're going to get Southside for a personal foul.
And there's that not playing smart.
Well, we kind of made the comment a few games ago, though, guys, that you are what you are, and that's what Southside has been, getting penalties and turnovers and such. And if you can eliminate those, well, I mean, that's ifs, ands, and buts, but if you can eliminate those, seem like they've been a lot more than what you should have. Here's a handoff up the middle to Flores. Bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 8.
They're running some of the wing T stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I used to love the wing tee when Bob Gatlin brought it in. It was very fun to watch. Here's going to be, there's a kind of a cross-buck play. Going to get inside the 10-yard line to about the 5-yard line. That's that's Ryan Estado on the carry. Estacio on the carry. Get him going one way, then come back the other.
Yeah, a little misdirection.
Yeah.
The key is to getting those blocks on the line of scrimmage to be able to do that.
Now, that's a double wing right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
The ball's on the ground. Let's see.
I think the running back jumped on it.
Yeah, the quarterback actually
bailed out.
Marlette, he bailed out before he got the ball. But, guys, that's what I've seen, though, and I don't know how much Siloam likes to run under center, but I've seen a lot of situations over the years where you just play the pistol, wildcat, pistol formation, shotgun formation, and it's hard to go in there and take the ball under center.
Correct.
Be second down, second goal from the 5-yard line. We're down to 1:07 to go here, first quarter. They're going to do a pitch to Estacio. He'll cut it back inside down to the goal line, and let's see. No signal. I'll spot him at the 1-yard line.
It's just kind of like, you see Navy run some of this, them in the Army, and where guy kind of goes in short motion, and they just pitch it to him. It's a toss sweep.
Georgia Tech does that a bunch too, don't they?
They used to. They don't anymore.
I love that, watching that when it works.
Yes, sir.
You don't have the same talent a lot of times, and third and goal will be a quarterback sneak here by Marlatt. Let's see.
I think he got it.
He got the touchdown. Nice drive for the Panthers. 7 plays, 73 yards. 1-yard quarterback sneak.
I don't know about you guys, but I think if I was going to keep the ball on the ground, I'd probably stick with that formation.
Yeah, I think they're better. They're better at doing that than
Seems
they were the other.
Seemed like they're running downhill a little bit better in that one.
But do you guys think the weather had maybe something to do coming out kind of vanilla there to start out?
Well, and they were going shotgun, starting out. I think that's a big change right there.
That's Camden Newell that makes the extra point. We've got 27.4 seconds to go here. Southside now leads 14-7. Gentlemen, we've had a lot of possessions here in the first quarter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 so far. But a very nice answer by Siloam Springs to get that touchdown. 7 plays, 73-yard drive. And, I kind of think the thing, too, guys, is maybe the coach being a little bit more cautious over there because of a wet football when you're making those handoffs.
It could be, but, heck, this is their last game for both teams. And, I would try, do anything to get some momentum going one way or the other. And running that wing T type offense.
Good pickup on the bounce. He's at the 40, 45, midfield, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Southside.
And no flags.
And no flags. Peyton Zimmerman on the touchdown.
How many is that for him this year? 5?
That's 5, but 2 were called back. Yeah, I actually joked with him after the Mountain Home game. I said, when you do that, do you look for yellow on the field?
Before you start celebrating.
And I'll never understand this, is why do you kick to him?
Well, I think they saw some video on us from last week, and they were trying to do that little pooch in between and get that little checkup, and it just didn't work for them.
So Southside answering quick. They had a 2-play drive the previous series, then you return the kickoff. As Hernandez will attempt the extra point up, and it's good. Southside now leads 21-7. We've got 15.9 seconds to go here. And, gentlemen, it's been a very fun first quarter, 21-7, Southside leading here.
Action-packed and a little bit of mistakes mixed in for good measure,
Well, you got to have that.
That's right.
You made the statement about them running the ball and being a short night. If they keep scoring touchdowns, it won't be.
That's right. They just kind of extends it out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
Like to see these guys over there in the white jerseys have a good game for.
Well, if it does get too heavy, guys, they've got some good lasagna.
Boy, that was
over there. It was really good, so we can head back over there if we need to. And, Doug, you'll learn that's kind of the privileges of doing this, as they'll send back deep. Mikey McKinney along with Victor Toledo, and I believe it was McKinney had the nice return on the previous kickoff. Rodrigo Hernandez will tee the ball up. Again, we've got 15.9 seconds to go here first quarter. Southside leads 21-7. Here's a kick. It's going to be fielded again by McKinley. McKinley will try to go to the inside. Now we'll try to push it outside. There's a good job by Southside on the defensive end. They'll get him out of bounds. And I think that was Dwight Johnson over there for the Mavs. Aiden Johnson.
Well, I think we might get out of the first quarter now.
That was another good special teams guy, too, has been Aiden Johnson. He's had a good year.
Yes,
for the
he
Mavs.
has.
And he's a senior, and he's boy, he has come a long ways. And, his ninth grade year was his first year to play football, too. There's a lot of kids just didn't start until, ninth grade or so playing.
Southside going to pack that formation. They're going to hand it off the left side. He's going to get across the 30 up to about the 33-yard line.
You call that a counter, Coach?
Yeah. It's a power counter.
Yeah.
Because they're leading with two blockers.
Mm-hmm. I studied up on some of that double wing back in the day. I mean, I was always an I formation kind of guy, and we ran plenty of shotgun, but I don't know. That double wing always intrigued me. Somebody said it has made more yards on the ground than any other offense, and won more state championships.
Probably so.
More high school state championships than any other offensive scheme. But it's kind of interesting to watch it because I'm like you. It just kind of takes me back. It's kind of one of those old school, back in the day kind of offenses. And boy, when it works well.
Southside ran it for a long time, and then when Coach Lunny there, I think when he came, I think he ran it for a few years after, because Gatlin had put it in when he was a coach, and then like in the '80s, and then Coach Lunny, kind of followed. Then everybody started throwing
modernizing.
Everybody started doing it.
So, everybody started throwing it, and so that was.
Went to those.
It went to the shotgun and the pistol formation and stuff, because it was more glamorous, so to speak. And a lot of times, Southside, I remember when, one of the first years they did that was when Daniel Lunny was their quarterback, and they struggled early, but it was. But it was very interesting to see, them to evolve and go from a running team to basically throw it all the time.
Guys, we got a big call here. It was going to be a first down on the run by Mason Short. I believe it's going to come back. This may be a holding call on the Panthers. Guys, when you run that kind of offense, so, I mean, you definitely, as we talked about, staying ahead of the sticks, you've got to almost.
You really do.
Yeah.
With these, I mean, it's 3 yards in a cloud of dust, but you get behind the chains,
This will be third down, third and about 16.
See, usually when you throw a pass, it's when you're going to catch them by surprise, and because you've been running and running and running, and then you hit, there's that trap.
You're going to run it to the outside. He's got a hole to the outside, and there's Derek Lacey. I'll tell you what, guys. Actually, that was number 3 over there. That was Tristan Evans making the play for Southside. That was a good play right there. Lowered that head. And
he had some good plays in that last game against Greenwood that, if he hadn't come up and made the play on the little tunnel screen, I mean, it would have broken for 30 or 40 yards easy.
He's another senior on the team, getting some playing time here towards the end.
You got to be kidding me. We just jumped off sides.
Actually, they're calling on them. I guess they moved on the play. That's a break, too, because that could have been one you'd probably go for.
Yeah,
21-7, guys.
4th and 1, and now it's 4th and 11, so I bet they would have.
Big call right there as they'll bring the punter in. That's Mason. I believe that's Mason Short.
They called it on the center that he
snap infraction.
Snap infraction.
We call that in the old yard days the old peanut play. Isn't it? Here's the kick. Got a good punter. That's a nice punt, guys. Is good job too. I think that was a wise decision by Wilson Key to let that ball bounce. Take about a 7 or 8 yard loss, but it's better than trying to make a play that's not there.
Got too many cords around here.
You think?
It's a little tight up here.
Coach, don't go down on us now.
Yeah, well, no, I'm worried I'm going to pull this monitor off.
Pull me off the chair.
Yeah.
Southside will start this drive on their 28-yard line. They've done a great job tonight, guys. They've been able to score, with the exception of the one time they turned the ball over. They've scored every other time. Here's a handoff off to the right. Not much there for Webb. Going to get maybe 1 yard on the play. Leading the charge for the Panther defense is Boaz Benson. Bring up second down, 2nd and 9. We've got 10:25 to go here, second quarter. Southside leads 21-7. Now, Coach, me and Terrell are just glad we're not having to pull a Russellville and set out in the stands tonight.
It might be a little tough tonight.
Oh, there's a good run by Jaden Webb. Actually, he was hit on a pretty good form tackle right there, but he's able to get away and get that extra yard. Now you've got a very makeable 3rd down, 3rd and about 3 for the Mavs.
What you call right here, Coach?
I'm not so sure if I don't run the same thing or
think
something,
so.
something similar to that.
Yeah. Maybe let Blake pull it.
Yeah.
That quick,
They're going to go
Empty.
empty.
yeah, maybe try to open up the field a little bit for him. Now they'll bring Webb in the backfield. Going to give it to Webb. Going to be hit in the backfield. Going to lose a yard.
Well, that wasn't play. I mean, they ran outside zone, and I just don't think they do a very good job on the out. The outside zone is.
It's tricky. You got to run it that blocking scheme just right.
Southside to punt the ball away here with Jaden Webb.
Starting to come down now.
Yeah, I'm not sure Siloam thinks they're going to punt it because they're not going to send anybody back.
I think they're not sending anybody back, so he didn't have to worry about catching it because he's afraid that he might drop it or muff it.
Good snap here for Webb. Gets the punt off, and that's one of those ones that should take a really good Southside bounce. And goes straight up and across. Will be down to the 27-yard line.
They got something in the field right there or something, Keith. Makes that ball kick straight up.
And I want to give credit to Alex Little, the job he's done this year, snapping the ball.
Great job.
Yeah, we made the comment last week we had the one bad snap, and that's when you usually mention the young man's name is when they have a bad one. And if you don't ever mention that name, he's doing his job.
That's right.
And he's done that well this year.
Well, and I don't know that we even called that one a bad snap. I think we just said it was a high snap.
Well, we laughed about it because what a great play by Webb to get the punt off. When we looked, we netted 6 yards on the play.
6 total yards.
Panthers will start this drive on their 27-yard line. They trail here 21-7. We've got 8:46 to go here in the second quarter. They have Flores in the backfield. Actually, this is another formation that we haven't seen. Here's a handoff off to the right side. There's a good play right there on a hit.
Good gosh.
He'll wake up.
I believe that was Dunn.
I think so.
I could tell when, like I told you guys, I could tell when Dunn makes a tackle, there's no forward motion.
No.
He's a very strong young man.
Mm-hmm.
Bring up second down, 2nd and 9. That'd been a play that kind of worked for the Panthers, kind of, faking that inside, going the outside route. Had been a couple of nice plays for them, especially in that long drive they had. Here's a handoff coming off the right side and going to be hit across the 31-yard line. It's Mason Short on the carry. Bring up 3rd down, and now we've got a flag on the play.
I think it's against them. At least that's what Southside's indicating. I don't know. I didn't see anything go on. I didn't
either.
I didn't see anything that Southside did. But
yeah, I think it is. But I laugh at that though, guys. He has a personal foul on the Panthers. But I've got to laugh at it just for the fact that Southside's hoping it's on them because that's definitely one time. We saw one earlier that should have never happened. And let's see, Southside declined the penalty?
Hey,
they must call it offsetting.
Keith, I feel like it's getting a little discombobulated down there.
Yeah, you tell Coach Bunker pass for basketball, and there's good coverage over there, and that was
dangerous.
Well, that was probably the reason why they don't throw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I don't mean to be bad about that. Just that wasn't
Slight indicator.
Well,
Well,
I mean, he threw it, what, 5 yards out of bounds?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but it's also a pass, too. I saw 2 birds go down
Yes.
on that play, so.
Ball shadowed the
Yeah,
birds.
Yeah, so, I think Southside has probably seen enough on the defensive side of the ball, what they know they can do defensively here. But nonetheless, good coverage from the Mavs. Good job by Wilson Key making the fair catch at the 34-yard line.
Well, Keith, we always talk about, if you hear your safety's name a lot, your defense is struggling. But if you see a punter out there punting real good, is that not kind of an indicator that the offense has struggled and they've had a lot of practice?
Yeah, and the thing, too, though, about your safeties, though, when you're playing a team like this that likes to run the football, your safeties are going to come up within probably almost linebacker position, so they're going to be making you hope they're making a lot of plays.
Yeah.
That's one area Southside's been good at this year with Zimmerman, Selby, Cannon. Want to throw the ball here. They'll throw it. And there's that block you want to talk about, Coach. Going to get a first down.
That was Cannon.
And we got a flag on the play. I'm getting a little chippy out there.
Mm-hmm.
Be interested to see what this call is. It didn't look like to me it looked like he hit him before he went out of bounds. Southside backing up.
But where's the penalty at? Where did they throw the flag at?
It was on the Southside sidelines where it went, about the 49-yard line.
Way back behind. It's going to be a hold. It's an interesting place to throw that one.
I'm going to go out and say this. I think they're going to call that hold on the what we thought was a good block on that side. I think that might have been the penalty.
Yes.
But they called face mask on them, so it's all setting.
So we didn't see the flag on where the hold was.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't see the whole.
But where the face mask flag was, we did see that one. That's why I thought it was kind of curious that you would call a hold on that. Gentlemen, it's getting a little harder to see out there with the raindrops. Here's a run by Forrest going up the middle, makes a nice gain, close to 9 yards. They'll still spot him back at the 42-yard line. Be an 8-yard gain, be second down, 2nd and 2. We've got 7:31 to go here before the half. Southside leads 21-7. And now we've got an injured player. And with that injury, let's go ahead and take a timeout. And let's go ahead and take a timeout here.
Between life, work, and family, sometimes the person that you need to take care of the most is you.
At Fort Smith Therapy Health and Wellness, you're never alone. Through our counseling, we can help you regain control of your emotions, mental health, and life. We provide both face-to-face and virtual therapy services. Whether it's for your child, family, or yourself, Fort Smith Therapy is here to help your true self shine through.
Schedule your appointment today with Fort Smith Therapy Health and Wellness.
The story of our family business starts back in 1878.
Welcome back to action. It'll be second down, 2nd and 2 for the Mavs. They'll have the ball at their own 42-yard line. They started this drive at their 34-yard line. We've got 7:19 to go here. Southside leads 21-7. Guys, the key here, get you a touchdown here, get you a hold going at halftime, ahead 28-7, get the ball to start the second half. Here's a handoff, not much there, maybe a yard. They'll drive him back. Jaden Webb on the carry. I don't believe we've seen Joaquin Fox in the ball game tonight.
I think he came in one play, and
that was the interception, too.
Yeah, it was an interception, and hadn't seen him yet since.
For them to run, when they run sideways, like the outside stuff, they're better going straight downhill.
Yeah, the quick hitters, it seems like when they do the quick hitters, it gives your offensive linemen the time to get their blocks, and I know offensive linemen love that.
That's awesome. How's that not offsides? Their head went across.
There's a handoff and a good jump move to get the first down by Jaden Webb. Terrell, this is going to be that drive. That's a 3 place to get the first down. This may be that 15-play drive that you dream of every game.
Jaden Webb's just about got 15 carries already by himself.
Here's handoff to Webb. Going to get a big hole, and he's going to go forward across the 45-yard line down to about the 41-yard line. And Coach, that was the exact play you're talking about right there.
Just going straight down. He steps up and he rides him a little bit, and, he could pull it if he – to be honest with you, Blake could have pulled it a couple of times and gotten, similar yardage that Jaden did. And so Joaquin's in there now.
First and 10 for the Mavs. Here's a handoff to Joaquin. He's got a hole across the 40 down to about the 37-yard line. Gains 4 on the play. Brings it up second down, 2nd and 6 for the Mavs.
Yeah, this would be a good drive and run and score with about a minute left. And because they get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, we're down to 5:32 to go here before the half. Really got Webb back in the backfield. Here's a handoff to Webb. He hits a nice hole there across the 30-yard line.
That's a really good cut that he just did there.
Dragging bodies.
We kind of saw that in the second half last week, Terrell, against Greenwood.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the drive that he had. That game was over, obviously, at halftime, but, they came out in the second half, and I thought, that's what you look for from your team is the spirit they give when things are down. Here's a run by Forsgren, going to get about 3 on the play. Actually, they're giving 4, brings up second down, 2nd and 6.
See, he's going downhill too. He's running, it's 4 yards is, that's everybody seems like they want those big chunk plays. And
I like 4 yards. You do that 3 times, you get a first down.
Well, what people don't realize, too, is when you do that, you wear that defense
Absolutely.
down.
Well, with the problems Southside's had with their defense over the last few weeks and stuff, and, I've always thought a good defense or a good offense makes for a good defense.
It helps them out for sure.
Well, we noticed that, too, 2 years ago, and we always go back, what was it, the 23-play drive we had, Terrell, that down there at Bentonville West, and Bentonville West was, they were ranked pretty high at the time, and we had a chance. They were expecting just to take us down, and that eliminated the whole third quarter and part of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's it. You keep the ball out of the other team's hands, and that's always going to be a good thing for you.
Yeah, you're in 4-down territory here. The ball will be spotted at the 21-yard line. It'll be 3rd down, 3rd and 4. They've got Joaquin Fox in the backfield with Forsgren. Trip set to the left of Forsgren. Here's a handoff to Fox, and good job by that offensive line. Looks like he's going to have the first down. That's a nice mix there. You take Webb out of the game. You got the taller kid, the power runner. You bring in the smaller guy that's a little bit more shifty. And, of course, we really can't say that tonight, guys, because we've seen that from Webb tonight as far as,
right.
Sure enough.
as some moves tonight.
Well, to quote the great Keith Evans, I think they're just giving Jaden a little bit of a blow.
I thought maybe you were going to say that we made Siloam Springs discombobulated.
Well, I'm going to try to find a place to work that in again.
Here's a handoff. No, it's actually a keeper by Forsgren on the outside at the 5 to the goal line. Will be spotted out at about the 1-yard line. Nice read by Blake Forsgren.
He could have done that a bunch of times.
Be first and goal at the 1-yard line. We've got 2:59 to go here. This will be the 11th play of this drive that started at the south side 34-yard line. Here's a handoff up the middle to Jaden Webb. Touchdown, south side. That's 3 touchdowns tonight
That's
for Mr.
3.
Webb, guys. That's a way to end your season.
I guarantee it.
What's even more impressive, though, guys, an 11-play, 66-yard drive.
Not one pass, was there?
Nope. Rodrigo Hernandez in for the extra point. Let's give credit to that offensive line, the job they've done. And this should be a roughing the kicker penalty that nobody saw. You had the holder and the kicker laying on the ground.
Both of them, yeah. Maybe they got a finger on the ball.
Well, the only thing I can figure maybe it was an Academy Award-winning
Flop.
flop or something. I don't know. But
Little LeBron flop.
Southside now leads 28-7. We've got 2:53 to go here in the ball game. Hey, folks, it's about time for basketball to start up here for Southside as the teams will be gearing up here. And our first, they'll have all the games on the Mavericks Sports Network, but our first broadcast on the Mavericks Sports Network will be November 25th as the Van Buren Pointers will come to Maverick Arena. And then the very next Monday on 12/2, the Poto Pirates will come to town. Take on Coach Brunk and Coach Adams' team. We had them in last week, and both coaches seem really excited, Terrell, about what's going on with Southside basketball.
Yeah, they were both real excited about it.
Most all coaches before the season started. But I mean, it's
Well, I'll say this for Coach Adams.
they have opportunities to I guess improve from where they were last year, and
Well, Coach Adams has got some height this year. He had a
that's
kid move in from Booneville, 6'7", and you had the Wilkinson kid coming back. I believe he was about 6'5", 6'6", and then they had another 6'4" kid. We haven't had that.
the Wilkerson kid has really improved a bunch. I tried to get him to play football because he played tight end, and he never would. He wanted to concentrate on basketball, and he's really turned himself into a pretty good basketball player.
I think the key for that team is going to be they're going to have to find out who your outside shooters are for the boys. And on the girls, it's going to be interesting, too. I mean, you lost a lot of girls that were 3-year starters, so you're basically going to see a different group out there. But I know Coach Brunk has got some height this year. I know he's really excited about his team this year. And I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to it. There's not a better place to call a basketball game than Maverick Arena. In 1st and 10 here at the 35-yard line. Here's handing up the middle. Les Flores is going to get to the outside. We'll have a first down. Well, he'll get across midfield, actually right at midfield.
I was just about to ask you, Coach, you think we left them a little bit too much time? You wouldn't think 3 minutes would be enough time with the run game, but they still got all those timeouts too. So see if we can get a couple thumps right here.
The 1st and 10 right at midfield. That's really one of the few times we've seen Flores actually able to get outside.
They went back to the, shotgun and, pistol, offset shotgun, or pistol, I guess you'd call it.
There's Flores off the left side. Will be hit and dropped at about the 48-yard line. I believe that's Peyton Perez getting off the pile for the Mavs. Bring up 2nd down, 2nd and about 8. Guys, did they switch the offense up and run different formations, maybe lacking a little bit more than what the other team might have, kind of like we talked about with Navy and Army and some of those teams. Here's hand off to Flores up the middle, are going to get close to the first down. I'll spot him actually back at the 42-yard line, bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 2.
Well, I always thought that when you put in a bunch of different formations, or not formations, but just a bunch of different plays, now you can run the same play out of whatever
Many formations, yeah.
Many formations. And that's, kind of what they did there. And
Oh, hit him. He's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Actually, I'll spot him back for a yard loss.
that's the same play they ran the play before.
Mm-hmm.
And
Going to lose a yard, bring up 4th down, 4th and 3.
you're going to call timeout.
I was going to say, you surprised they hadn't called timeout yet?
Well, no, I'm not. But then on the other hand, I will say this: what they're doing, they're going to let the play clock run down somewhat.
Now they're going to reset the play clock.
I'll reset the play clock.
We may end the half here on the last 2 minutes, run the clock off. And we got a personal foul call against Southside.
Well, that's why they reset the play clock.
That's a big call right there, guys. You had them 4th and 3. I'm not sure what happened on that
No,
play.
I never did see
didn't
it. I
either.
didn't even see the flag come
I
out.
didn't either.
I'm kind of thinking these guys are that's probably the fourth or fifth personal foul we've
I think
seen in
it's
this
the
ball
fourth
game
one.
tonight. Yeah, they. But then again, when that happens, you've got to adjust to what is going on out there on the field. So, got 1:29 to go here. I know Coach is probably questioning now the time on the clock. I tend to think that's irrelevant right now. 1:29, you've got all your timeouts.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. With 3 timeouts, that's a long time.
Put 145 back up there.
Be 1st and 10 at the south side 28-yard line.
Now, I guess you could play a little
They don't
chess
have-
match right here and call your timeouts and try to get the ball back.
They don't have microphones and stuff out here for these officials.
I don't think so. I hadn't heard any of them.
Either that or we can't hear them up here. This may be soundproof. There's a nice play on defense for the Mavs. Trying to run that outside play again, and not going to happen this time. I think that was Maddox Perez over there for the Mavs making the play. Brings up 2nd down, 2nd and 9. Going to let the clock run here down to 1:22.
Well, one thing they're not want to do, I'm sure they don't want to give Southside any time either. If they don't, their quarterback going to keep it.
Keeper by the quarterback, and there's nothing there. Going to get maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
There's another flag. All right.
Siloam going to take a timeout here.
I thought he dropped a flag.
Yeah.
That's my.
With that timeout, let's go ahead and take one, too. You're watching Southside Maverick Football on the Mavericks Sports Network.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, forget about X's and O's. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
I bought my first vehicle from Randall as a used car back in '77. I bought a first new truck in '96 from them, an F-250. Ever since then, I've stuck with Randall. They understand my business, and as a contractor, my trucks take a beating. Randall Ford has the problem.
Welcome back to Panthers Stadium. It'll be 3rd down, 3rd and about 8 for the Panthers. We've got 1:07 to go here. Southside leads 28-7.
Back to the wing tee. See, when you go back and forth, I don't know if that's a trap.
Get a nice run up the middle. He's going to take it to the house for the touchdown.
I think they brought it back just for that play, Coach.
It's that trap.
Mm-hmm. It's tough. Especially get that 3-man line up there. You're kind of talking about that earlier, Keith. Is like why they go into those multiple formations. It's almost like they're trying to get your defense in a look that they think they can exploit with the other. Oh, that's ugly.
Extra point up, and it's good. But the thing was, you scored, but you still left a minute 1 on the clock.
With 3 timeouts for Southside, that's right.
Let's see what they want to do kicking. I think they'll probably kick it short. You definitely don't want to kick it to number 16. Been a lot of scoring here in the first half, guys. 28-14, 1:01 to go here.
I'd onside kick it.
Yeah.
That's,
I mean, what do you have to lose?
And it runs the clock.
Again, 1:01 to go here. Southside has all their timeouts, so they can pretty much I always kind of look at this, guys. I think first of all, you see where your field position is going to be starting out, number 1. Number 2, if you hit you might go with a relatively safe play. If it hits big, then go to your 2-minute offense.
Mm-hmm.
Camden Newell will kick off for the Panthers. It's going to be a squib kick. It's going to hit on the ground. It's going to be fielded. That's Zimmerman on the return. We'll cut it back up, and we'll get a nice return across the 30 up to about the 33-yard line. I think that's a good starting point for the Mavs. But, guys, obviously, even in this situation, you got 53 seconds to go here with 3 timeouts. You can either run or pass. I still think you could do that as long as you get a quick one.
Yeah, playbook's open right now.
Looks like Southside going to put the ball up here with no backs in the backfield. Forsgren's got time. Will throw the ball. It's going to be tipped away, almost intercepted by Eli Hargett.
Good play.
Bring up second down, 2nd and 10 for the Mavs. 48 seconds to go here before the half. Again, Southside leads here 28-14.
They're in the 2 deep safeties. They'll let Southside throw the ball underneath or give them the short stuff. I mean, he's 7 or 8 yards off of him.
Mavs going to go with the running play here. That's Jaden Webb on the run, makes a nice run up to the 40-yard line. Southside going to let the clock run here. Now we've got a whistle as Siloam going to take a timeout. Guys, that's an interesting situation right there. If I was the Mavs, I would have taken a timeout, saved some time, and then Siloam did him a favor here to stop the clock.
Gave him an extra timeout.
I guess Siloam think they're going to get the ball back and have an opportunity to score again, I guess.
Well, I think it'd be a situation where you probably put 11 guys on the line of scrimmage to try to go after the punt.
Yeah.
I don't think it's because I don't think they're what you would call. I mean, they've had a couple of nice running plays, but they're not what you'd call a big strike offense from their end of the field.
One thing I see Siloam is, which I think Southside's done this year or have had problems with at times, is their lack of this overall team speed. And, you talked about the receivers of having, good hands, run good routes and stuff. They catch the ball. But just that one that really has
Your deep threat.
The deep threat.
It kind of clears it out underneath for everybody else. See what the Mavs want to do here. They'll have Fox in the backfield. It's 3rd down, 3rd and 4. Here's a handoff to Fox. Going to be hit. And that play, Coach, that's what you were talking about too, is when you run downhill, those plays seem to be a lot more effective. The fact that that play it just took too long, too much of a read there.
It almost looked like Blake was trying to pull it.
Well, they got a little home cooking over there, guys. I'm looking at the scoreboard. That's 2 timeouts. They've still got 3.
I think it's got 1.
They've got 1 now. They actually corrected it now, but it was 3 at the time. But that was a situation where, Southside could have got that first down. Maybe they kind of go into a quick offense. Again, 26 seconds to go here. We'll see what Siloam wants to do.
See, this is what's been, I guess, I won't use the word problem, but this is what has happened to Southside over the last, not counting last week, but they get ahead or they get behind and they catch up, and then you let the other team back in it, or the stuff will happen. And
yeah, they're going to bring the heat here. And they jumped off sides. Actually, a procedural penalty on the Mavs. Yeah, they're going to go for the block here. I mean, in this situation, 25 seconds left, that's probably the right call. Even if you don't get the block, Southside, if say it was a roughing or anything like that, it just it's going to move it up to about midfield.
Well, they hadn't put anybody back in the last couple punts, so.
But that time they were coming. You could tell the way.
They're definitely coming.
Last game of the year, guys, you got that gunner out there, maybe just let him go out for a pass.
There you go. I mean, if they're not going to have anybody back, get Zimmerman over there.
See what kind of arm Jaden Webb has.
Well, you know, he used to be a quarterback, but he always told me he couldn't throw. That's what he told me. I'm like, well, we can fix that, man.
Yeah, they got some heat coming here. There's a snap. It's a good snap, and there's a kick. That's going to take off a lot of time off the clock. Just let it roll.
Another flag.
Well, I don't understand this. He threw his flag, but, I mean, illegal shift.
Yeah, the back man that's blocking behind the line. He, like, took a step.
Well, they'll have to put,
But that's not a shift.
That's right.
That's motion.
Well, I'm wondering, I think he stepped forward maybe is what it was. Is why they called it the illegal shift, but it wasn't much.
But why I guess they just want them to keep punting it.
I know. It's like I really don't feel like it's going to help much, and you don't have anybody back for a return.
well, if you're Siloam, though, you've got to think that, hey, that was 10 seconds off the clock.
Yes.
It should go back on the clock because that was a dead ball, was it not?
Yeah.
That's kind of a break for the Mavs right there. I'm thinking, too, though, you're watching Siloam, they're getting really close to jumping off sides.
Mm-hmm.
They get the kick off, and that may run the clock out.
Don't touch.
I'm looking for your white guy, flag over there from your white hat guy over there. Got 3 seconds on the clock.
Well, they about got that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've seen Jaden pull some magic out a couple times on punts, but that one's about the best one I've seen so far because he had guys on both sides of him, one coming right in the middle.
Would you not question, though, on that play, though, if you're the Siloam Springs coaching staff, that
Why their time run off?
Yeah,
did the
why don't
time
they
run
have
off the clock? Yes.
16 or 17 seconds right now?
Yeah. May it was legal. And to me, a legal shift is
well, this will be the last play? It looks like they're going to take a knee here, and that's what they'll do.
Another flag.
Did they throw a flag on that?
They did. It's a false start, but I think they're going to decline it and let it go to half. A little discombobulated there at the end, Keith.
Yes, it was. Just a bit. Getting Southside leads here 28-14. And, guys, it was interesting first half is Southside offensively did a good job, but there was some adjustments that Siloam made to get a couple of stops there and kind of worked, as you said, Coach, they worked their way back into the ball game.
Yeah, they did. The two big plays that Siloam has run is that trap.
That trap was deadly.
It's where they just, trap the three technique or, the inside, one of the down linemen. We always look to try to trap the easiest one to trap would be the three technique. And, gosh, I remember Coach Hunter used to run that play over and over and over and over, and particularly when you had third and long, and people are not expecting it. So,
Again, we're at the half. Southside leads this ball game 28-14. And, guys, as you look at the first half, I think when you go into the second half, I think the telltale thing in the second half is going to be that first possession for the Mavs offense.
I think it'd be a good start to get another 7 points up there quick. Try to do it without too many penalties. It seems like they're really watching us close right now.
Again, folks, we're at the half. Southside leads 28-14. We'll be back with tonight's scoring summary and the Randall Ford halftime show after this. You're watching Southside Maverick football on the Mavericks Sports Network.
Summer's winding down, but the savings are just getting started. Dive into the end-of-season sale at Burton Pools and Spas. For a limited time, save up to $14,000 on fiberglass pools. And the first 10 customers who purchase an Aquacrete pool with a premium vinyl finish will receive a free hot tub. Don't miss these incredible deals. Visit our stores in Fort Smith, Springdale, or Greenland, or go to BurtonPools.com for more details. At Burton, we do more than build swimming pools. We build long-term relationships.
Have you been to the River Valley's only multi-sport facility? Then let's hang out. The Hangout in Fort Smith is the only sports facility that offers indoor tennis and pickleball, indoor and outdoor basketball, and has now added multiple soccer fields. Soccer leagues are forming soon. Did you know the Hangout also has an 8,000 square foot fitness center with bar, yoga, HIIT, and Pilates classes? The Hangout, 5400 Gary Street, or thehangoutfs.com. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
From the minute you walk into Randall Ford, they greet you, they're kind, they're going to ask you what you need, what you're looking for, and they're all very friendly, even down to the service department. Those guys are so kind. The salesmen are going to make sure that you know that vehicle before you leave the lot. They're going to review the details, all the features of the vehicle, so you can leave with confidence knowing that the vehicle you're in, how to drive it. Randall Ford really listened to me, and I drove away with exactly what I wanted.
Family, it's bigger than bloodlines, stronger than DNA. It's the circle we draw around the people that matter, the people we care about and care for, the folks who inspire us, guide us, root for us. Family means finding common ground, rolling up our sleeves, and making our way side by side. Armstrong Bank. Strength runs in our family.
Between life, work, and family, sometimes the person that you need to take care of the most is you.
At Fort Smith Therapy Health and Wellness, you're never alone. Through our counseling, we can help you regain control of your emotions, mental health, and life. We provide both face-to-face and virtual therapy services. Whether it's for your child, family, or yourself, Fort Smith Therapy is here to help your true self shine through.
Schedule your appointment today with Fort Smith Therapy Health and Wellness.
The story of our family business starts back in 1878 when our ancestors settled in Old Town Van Buren and set up shop. We have been providing quality work, craftsmanship with the finest materials available using time-honored and traditional methods. Providing quality service to the River Valley for 6 generations.
Welcome back to the Randall Ford halftime show. We're at the half. Southside leads 28-14. Let's go ahead and look at the first half scoring summary. Siloam Springs got the ball first. Southside defense steps up big, gets a big 3 and out. They take over at their 47-yard line. And it's a really nice 8-play drive, 53-yard drive for the Mavs. They get a 4-yard touchdown run by Jaden Webb. A good job of running the ball by Webb, guys, but we talked about this. I thought the big play of the drive is you had, second down, 2nd and 13, and you had the pass completion to Barry Lauermore. They got it, made it a very makeable 3rd down, 3rd and 5.
Yes, and that was the play on that drive.
And we kind of go back and forth a bit, and Siloam Springs has another 3 and out. Southside has an interception thrown, but the defense steps up big again on the very next play. They fumble the ball right back to us. Southside gets the ball at their 41-yard line, and what a quick drive. It's a 2-play drive of 59 yards, a big 35-yard touchdown run by Jaden Webb, guys, and 3 touchdowns in the first half for number 15.
I like it. 16 carries for number 15.
And he's also got to be approaching, getting close to the 100-yard mark, too, I would think. Yeah, he's got to be getting close there. And then Siloam Springs comes back, and they were able to answer. It was probably their most, well, to me, it was their most impressive drive of the night. It was a 7-play, 63-yard drive, ending with a 1-yard touchdown run by the quarterback, Dane Marlatt. They cut the Southside lead 14-7, and, it's kind of back and forth after that, guys.
On that drive there, they ran the trap also that got a big first down, got some big yardage, ran it down to about the 30-yard line, and then they were able to punch it in from there. And it's a big play. That's been a big play for them.
Well, gentlemen, if you talk about a big momentum swing, though, they kick off to Southside, and what we've seen all year is Peyton Zimmerman is able to take the ball again to the house, and that's, I believe, his 3rd touchdown return of the year. Actually, his 5th touchdown run of the year. He had 2 called back, but how big is that play as far as they get back in the game, cut to 14-7, then all at once is back to 14 one play later?
Correct. He's done that all year long. He's a pretty good big playmaker.
Well, then Southside's kind of able to open it up a bit. They take over at their 34-yard line late in the first half, and it was one of those really nice drives. It was 11 plays, 66 yards. A 1-yard touchdown run by big old number 15, Jaden Webb, his third touchdown of the night.
Yeah, I love watching that guy finish out his senior season real well. Hopefully we can see old number 20 get in the end zone a couple times.
And, guys, you talked about that, too, on that particular drive. I believe we didn't throw a pass at all.
Not that one.
They just kind of really ran that cut, and then when they weren't doing that, there was a couple of really nice runs. Forsgren, I believe, was on about the 19-yard line, got it down to the 1-yard line on a bootleg off to the right side.
Yeah, it was pretty.
And Southside, big 28-7 lead right there, but don't count out the Panthers as they go 5 plays, 66 yards, a 34-yard touchdown run off the right side by Mason Short. Cuts the Southside lead to 28-14, and then kind of an interesting end of the first half there, guys, as they kind of go back and forth a bit, but the clock's able to run out. Southside will take that 14-point lead, and maybe more importantly, they get the ball to start the second half.
Right. Yeah. It was too. It's kind of unfortunate that they couldn't make that first down and maybe go down and got some points and then got the ball to start the second half. And but this opening drive this half is going to be huge for both teams.
Well, and you hope you get that first score right there, and then next thing you know, we talk a lot about psyche and momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And, you get that 3-score lead right here. I mean, we're not going to say that's going to nail the coffin shut or anything, but you feel like that gets you real close to the end of the season.
Well, the thing is, though, like you said, if you score back at 35-14, with this Southside team, what we've seen in those middle games with Shiloh, with Lake Hamilton, I mean, no lead is big enough.
Well, yeah, Coach talked about that earlier. I don't know if you want to say taking the foot off the gas or whatever, but that's the one thing you really got to watch out for is taking it easy after you get that 3-score lead.
And we'll see what they want to come out and do here in the second half, but it's been a fun first half nonetheless, and it's been kind of interesting too. And you got a decent crowd here tonight in this ball game. You've got rain. You've got 2 teams that haven't won a conference game, so kudos to the fans of Siloam Springs for showing up here tonight to support their team in their last ball game on senior night.
Absolutely. We usually like to give a shout-out to the game day sponsor. Well, today's game day sponsor was top-notch, and it was the Panthers themselves, man. They cooked up some really good lasagna. Keith and I, we like to talk about the food, man. So
yeah, did you get the name of where that was from?
I think they cooked it here.
They cooked it here, okay. Very impressive.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, again, our regular game sponsor is Fort Smith Therapy, and we appreciate everything they've done for us this year. We appreciate all the sponsors that we've had this year, and it's been, like I said, it's been one of those years. It's been a fast year. It's been a strange year in the fact that, I think this team, they're 0-6, but it doesn't feel like it.
No, it really doesn't.
It started that first conference game with Mountain Home where they had opportunities to win and didn't win. Then they had Lake Hamilton and missed, had the opportunity to win and didn't win. And it's just, other than last week, they've had opportunities to win every one of their games. And
well, Coach, as you said, too, it comes down to the turnovers, I think. I mean, I go back to the Mountain Home game, and 2 plays in particular, right there at the half, Mountain Home's really just trying to run the clock out. And I think the kid takes the ball off the right side, goes 50 yards down the field. They get a touchdown right before the half, to get those extra points that probably weren't going to be there if you get a stop. And then look at the other play was Southside with a chance to come down and take the lead. You had a big interception that was returned back to the Southside 20-yard line. Instead of maybe taking the lead, now you're 2 scores down. So, and then, the next week against Lake Hamilton, Southside controlled that game. Actually was ahead after a Zimmerman kickoff return. They were ahead 17-zip, and then, did everything you could do as far as running that clock down, setting up for that last field goal. Everything was great on that except the execution of the field goal. You walk away really feeling bad that you lost that ball game too, and then you go into Shiloh next week, and you're taking, I think Shiloh, correct me if I'm wrong, they're probably ranked number 2 in the state right now in 6A football. you got them down 20-3 at half. But even at that, you didn't feel good about it because, Southside got some big plays in that game, but it was like they were getting some big plays on some busted plays that were able to get the points. And then in the second half, those plays weren't there. We had 4 interceptions in the second half and gave up, 35 straight points.
Yeah, and you knew they were going to come back and score on you, so you couldn't just be content with the lead, but man, they came roaring back in that one.
And then I would say probably to me the most mystifying ball game of the year was the Van Buren game the next week. It was a pivotal game where you had a chance maybe to secure some playoff position there, and Van Buren comes in here. And, it could be a game that, possibly could go either way, but you're down 35-0 in the third quarter, and it's just – people are stunned when that happens. And
I was stunned.
And, you come back, you play Russellville tough the next week. You fall a bit short in that ball game. And then last week was just one of those games, I think the emotional high that Greenwood, you didn't know which way they would go. Well, they went one way, and it was a way that pretty much is kind of how Greenwood football is.
It really is. And I've heard a lot of people talking about it this year, and I don't know. Between them and Conway, you get a couple really good teams.
Well, I'd say your other team, too, is people don't talk about, and they're probably playing tonight, and I'd like to get a score if we could, is Conway and Bryant.
Oh, yeah.
I think
on that.
Yeah, I think that might be your 7A state championship game right there, and I think it's really
view of it.
Yeah, and I think it's a no-brainer with Greenwood. Here's the kickoff, going to be fielded by Zimmerman. He's going to get a nice return across the 45-yard line up to about the 47-yard line. Guys, I laugh when I see that play because it looked like the up back was going to pick it up, and then it looked like, maybe that's the play called there so Zim can get the ball and maybe get another touchdown.
I just like the up back was going to get the ball, and he just missed it.
Which, fortunately for us, and that means number 16's right there to make it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know why they keep kicking it to his side to begin with.
They ain't watched enough film, have they?
Yeah.
Maybe he's a left-sided kicker. That might be what it is.
And then I'd pooch it right over there on that sideline around 30, 25-yard line.
Southside will start this drive on their 47-yard line. I'll tell you what, guys, it's getting a little hard to see. We've got need the windshield wipers turned on here in the press box.
Yeah, you got that handled, Piper?
Yeah. Here's a handoff to Jaden Webb, going to get maybe 1 or 2 yards. And I see a little enthusiasm on this on the Siloam Springs defense as they're able to come in there and make a gang tackle, bring up second down.
They got that stopped right before halftime. It's giving them a little bit momentum, and to me, Blake needs to pull some of those balls. That,
bring up second down, 2nd and 8, and that's what he's going to do on this play. He's going to pull it back to the inside. We'll get across midfield up to about the 49-yard line.
But that play there is not, because both plays were stretched outside. It's not like you're running up inside and then you pull it.
Big third down here for the Mavs. It's a key play right here, guys, because Siloam's kind of got some confidence on that offensive side of the ball. So
momentum.
Third down, 3rd and about 6 for the Mavs. Schwartz's going to take some snaps, going to throw a swing pass out, going to be complete, and that's Wilson Key. He's going to get the south side first down.
Close.
I think where he's got his foot should be a first down. Doug, we go by the old technique that you mark it on the yard marker, so it's a first down.
But they're not calling it a first down.
That's interesting. That should have been one that maybe should have been measured. Here's a handoff that will be a first down for Jaden Webb. I'm trying to think of the last time I've done a game where they've actually had a measurement in high school football.
It's been a while.
It used to drive my partner a few years ago, Dalton Person. That would drive him crazy, wanting to know why they never would.
Well, if it's here, I tell you why.
Well, that was one right there I think I would have questioned. Because,
I thought I knew it was close. But
well, he had his foot right on the sticks. That's what I was looking at. I was looking at the far judge, and I don't know if that's where they marked it from, but going to throw a pass out, going to be complete. That's Wilson Key, going to make a man miss. That's a good job by Key, going to get positive yardage of about 6 yards, brings up second down, 2nd and 4 for the Mavs. Again, just starting the third quarter here. Southside leads 28-14. We've got 9:53 to go here.
All right, here you go, Keith. Conway 14, Bryant 21.
The Buck James Bowl.
Right at halftime.
I'll tell you, it really is interesting how the Bryan Hornets have just exploded.
It's kind of like how Bentonville and Rogers has exploded because a lot of these kids have moved out. They're not, they've moved to, Bryant and Benton
Cabot.
and Cabot and Conway. Moving out of the Little Rock area.
Well, to me, what's been mystifying, guys, is I look at a town like Conway, as big as it is, it's one of those places that you would think would have several state championships at some point. And they may, with Buck James, it may happen, but, so far it hasn't. And to me, that if I'm looking at a place that's probably the most mystifying of all that hasn't won one. But then you say that, and as you say, Coach, it was the dominance that you had up in Northwest Arkansas for years that really probably –
well, then you turn around, the dominance up here, and then turn around and the dominance in Bryant, in North Little Rock. Well, what's happened in North Little Rock?
Oh.
They completely fall off the face. They're.
Well, I think a lot of the kids in North Little Rock are going to Parkview now, aren't they, from what I'm hearing? He's second down, second, and about 4 for the Mavs. 4's going to look to throw. We'll throw the ball down the field to an open receiver.
Did he drop it?
He dropped it. That was Wilson Key. He was open on the post. That was a nice call, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, it is.
Starting
to fog up.
Well, not fog up. The rain is coming from out of the east, and it's hitting our window.
Yeah, we need windshield wipers in
Yes.
here. That's what we definitely need. Or can we get one of the girls to go out, Mason, and maybe wipe off the glass?
Rappel down.
Here's a handoff. So a keeper ball for is going to get inside the 35 down to about the 33-yard line.
What a bad mark.
Mm-hmm.
God, he marked him a good yard and a half.
Bring up fourth down, fourth
What
and
you
2.
call right here, Coach?
Well, there's been a couple of questionable things here. I really think that one should have been measured from where he was standing. That's a big call. If you have a bad snap or anything happens back there in the backfield on a wet field, you don't make that. Be fourth down, fourth and 2, a big play here with 8:54 to go here. Here's an inside handoff, and let's see. I think he's got it. Yeah, he got it. He got down to about the 30-yard line. He actually came out of the pile. It was a good run by Jaden Webb.
See, that play, it's the inside zone, but it could be an inside zone read. He could have read it, or he could have. But it's going downhill. It's going, not going sideways or laterally. And I think Southside, with their line blocks better at a point of attack instead of trying to reach on their blocks like you would on your outside zone play.
There's another handoff.
Right there.
Yep, handoff to Webb. It's another guy. He's doing a good job of it. Looks like they're getting him tied up maybe 2 or 3 yards. He gets away for an extra 3 or 4 yards. Spot him down at the 24-yard line. Tell you what, he'd probably like to get that 4th touchdown.
Yeah, I think he's starting to taste it.
The 1st and 10 for the Mavs at the 24-yard line. They started this drive on their 47. This will be the 10th play of this drive. Want to throw the ball, we'll throw the ball out. It's going to be complete. Going to get inside the 25 down to about the 23-yard line.
Just keep missing that block over there.
Well, that was the one he came from the safety spot, came downhill. It's just taking so long for that play to kind of develop it sometimes. It's 3rd down.
Can't quite throw a bullet as hard in this rain.
No, it's not getting out there as quick.
And I'll have Jaden Webb in the backfield with Blake Forsgren. Does a hard count, try and maybe draw him off sides here. Going to bring a little heat here. Here's a handoff to Webb, and he's going to have another. That's a good job, guys. Great job by the offensive line.
Yeah, they're fighting out there. I like it.
One thing they could do, and they just did a while ago, they tried to hit Wilson Key on that post, and they're playing. They got 2 high safeties, but the safeties are coming up, and you see the safeties, especially when you go up.
But You know, the thing about that play, too, and I'll go back after this play. I want to make a comment on that play to Wilson Key. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Mavs at the 19-yard line. And off to Webb. He's going to be hit and dropped about the line of scrimmage. But you go back to that play, too, though, Coach, is the fact that, okay, he was open, he dropped the ball, but that's not an easy catch by any means. You've got the rain coming down in your face, you've got a wet ball, and, you know, it's not an easy catch.
No.
What do you think, Coach? Let Forster pull it? Get him about a 11-yard gain right here? Keep the defense honest?
You're going to go corner post,
Yeah.
left corner.
I like it.
Not post, left corner of the end zone. Again, 2nd down here, and they're looking that way. They're going to throw it to there, and it's going to be incomplete, almost intercepted.
God, who is he? Does he not read the safety?
I think he threw it before the read.
Yeah, I don't,
Well, but the safety, as soon as the ball, he saw Jaden run the wheel route,
Mm-hmm.
he just took off and went that way.
I think he was throwing that like a 50-50 ball.
yeah, I don't think he got a lot on that one. It was,
No,
a
it
bit
looked
underthrown,
short.
too, because I think he actually had the receiver there if he can lead him a bit. Again, third down for the Mavs. Something didn't look right, but here's a run by Forsgren. Now we've got a whistle on the play. Going to be, I think, a false start on the Mavs. This is one of those drives.
I don't. Why? What I'm going to question? Why is it? I mean, the ball. He just snapped it early.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was moving.
No,
So why is it a false start?
unless they called it a snap infraction, but I thought they said false start.
Yeah, they did. But,
Yeah, that's
It just
a
looked
call.
odd, I think, is what the call was.
well,
Yeah.
because he snapped it and nobody was ready for it.
Yeah, this will be the 14th play of this drive. As Forsgren wants to throw, it's an inside tunnel screen. It's set up well,
Oh,
and he loses the football.
He would have scored too.
mm-hmm. They had that set up right.
That's just.
Well, I mean, was it the turf monster? I didn't even see him.
No, he just dropped it. Who was it? Was that Wilson or Peyton?
I think it was Peyton. That's tough, too, because, guys, that was a 14-play drive. They actually used almost half of the third quarter.
They've
Yeah,
gone
you
back
need to
to
stop now.
Go back to the wing tee stuff.
There's the handoff to Flores, and he's going to get positive yardage across the 15 up to about the 17-yard line. A gain 3 on the play brings up 2nd down, 2nd and 7 for the Panthers.
See, Southside adjusts to their that trap play because every time they ran it, they've gotten positive. I think pretty much positive yard on it. This is the formation they would do it on. Yeah, that's
Going to run it to the outside this time. Makes a nice cut to the inside, and we've got a flag on the play. This may be a hold from where the flag is thrown.
Well, the first time they ran that counter play, man, they were getting big yardage out of it, but we played it pretty well since.
Going to be a holding call on Siloam Springs. That's a big call right there, guys. Guys, I've got to ask this question, too. I know you play that tight formation like that. But is there a chance that maybe you try to sneak somebody out of the backfield, maybe try to get them in the secondary, maybe get a missed coverage?
right.
Well, we
That's
see.
that's the deal with this offense is that you try to kind of surprise them with the pass because you kind of lull the cornerbacks or whoever is supposed to be in coverage because coming up on the run. Counter
on the handoff. Good job by the Southside defense. Going to hit him back at about the 10-yard line.
That was 10 Mavericks in on that tackle.
Bring up a big third down here. Be 3rd and about 13. A spot at just outside the 10-yard line. Guys, this is really obviously the worst field position that Siloam's had in the ball game. The bulk of the game's been played between the 30-yard lines.
reverse.
Going to reverse it here and
Turned him back.
get a job of turning it back inside right there because they had the blocking on the outside if he takes it all the way out.
I don't know who that was, but He did
hard
a
to
great
see.
job. Now, did he make a tackle? No, but what he did, he made the guy go back inside to where all the what we call it, where the cavalry was coming from.
The tackle assist.
Yeah, because you had 3 blockers on that
sure
outside.
did.
Yeah, it was really a well-designed play.
Yes, it was. Southside did a good job of whoever the defensive end did a good job of turning it back in.
And folks, we apologize. We can't get all the names here. It's
No.
yeah, it's just
Oh wow, what a row!
yeah, it's going to go inside the Southside 35-yard line, be down at the 34-yard line. That's where Southside will start their second possession. Here in the second half, they lead 28-14 with 4:34 to go here. And guys, how key would it be for Southside? They had a 14-play drive that ended with a fumble, but they were able to control pretty much the half of the third quarter. Go ahead, and if they could run the clock out here, would be very big here to start the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
They'll start this drive on their 34-yard line. Yeah, that took a good bounce. I mean, you would think you'd had better field position.
Yeah, it hugged the sideline, and then you thought it was going to go out of bounds, and then.
So I have Joaquin Fox in the backfield for the Mavs. Trip set to the left of Forsgren. Now they'll bring Wilson Key in motion for blocking. Here's a handoff to Fox. Not much there. Going to get maybe a yard up to – actually, I'll spot him at the 36-yard line. Bring up second down, 2nd and 8 for the Mavs. I'm hearing some questioning from the coaching staff of Siloam Springs. To be honest with you guys, I tend to agree with them. They got him at the 35. He got a extra yard on the play. So,
well, you know what it was. He got it just past the 35, so they had to mark it up to the next.
Second down, 2nd and 8 for the Mavs. Again, Fox in the backfield. Here's a handoff again to Fox, and he's going to be hit and dropped after getting close to the 40-yard line. I'll spot him at the 39-yard line. Bring up third down, 3rd and 5 for the Mavs. 3:41 to go here, third quarter. Southside leads 28-14. Guys, the thing is here, too, if they were able to force a punt here, do you think they'll come after it again like they did in the first half?
Almost certain of it.
I mean, you're at the point now, you're down 14 points. You've got to gamble at some point. Again, third down, 3rd and 5. They've been coming off that corner quite a bit. They're on both sides look like they want to come with maybe some type of heat. Forsgren takes a snap. He's got time, although the ball's going to be almost intercepted.
Well, it's slippery out there for everybody.
That was Jack O'Brien. I'll tell you what, he was – you can't get it served up much better than that.
No, he saw the goal line the other way.
Well, maybe the key is for Southside, if they can play in the rain every week, then some of those interception games might be less.
Stats look a little better.
They're going to drop a guy back here. See if we can get the punt off here on one play. There's a snap. It's a low snap that as Webb punts the ball, and we've got a flag. I think we're going to have a roughing.
Where'd the ball?
That ball ended up at about the 50-yard line, and I don't think they touched it, so that should be a roughing.
They called on Southside. Well, actually, they pointed towards Southside. Now Southside has a first down.
Well, listen. I mean, if they're going to give Southside that, then that is incredible.
My question on that is because he's out, he's moved.
Yeah, because once the ball is fumbled or it's a bad snap and he takes off and he acts like he's going, the ball's outside, and he becomes a run.
It's a live ball, yeah.
Well, let me ask this question, though. Let me ask this, though. His helmet was knocked off on
That's
the
what
play.
I think it
That's
really
what
was.
I think the call might have been.
More like a face mask or something. I don't
You know me, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt. Be 1st and 10 for the Maps. That's a big break, guys.
I'm not going to complain because it sure helps Southside out, but it's still.
Yeah, that's a big play right there. Because you're right, though. Once he moves out of that, it's fair game, and they'll hand the ball off. And Siloam doing a very good job, really, of kind of stuffing those off-tackle plays now.
Mm-hmm.
We'll keep Joaquin Fox in the backfield. Bring up second down, 2nd and 9 for the Mavs. We've got 2:27 to go here, third quarter. Southside leads 28-14. Forsgren looks to the sideline to get the play. He's got plenty of time on the play clock. We've got 14 seconds on the play clock. No backs in the backfield. Now bring Fox in the backfield. Here's a keeper by Forsgren up the middle. Has an open hole there. Cuts it back out. He's the 25, 20, 15, 10. 5 will be run out of bounds.
No, another flag.
I believe this is going to be on the Siloam. Siloam's still upset about that roughing
I
penalty.
can't say I don't blame him. He just sideline warrant. Oh, he called it unsportsmanlike.
Well, I'm thinking what the penalty was, though, Doug. If you want to make an argument, I don't think I could say maybe knocked his helmet off. I'm with you on that. Once that ball, he's a live ball.
If that's the case, if he knocked his helmet off or whatever, it's just and then it would be get personal foul. It wouldn't be not.
And I wouldn't think.
Oh, it was called a roughing the kicker?
He called roughing
Okay,
the kicker.
yes, that was, yeah.
And I can't say I don't blame that coach.
I would, too. I would be, you've had a year like this, and you have a chance maybe to,
Yeah.
that was a big play right there because they would have had great field position.
Right. I just can't believe they didn't block it.
I know. I same way.
I don't know how he got it off without.
He's done that twice now.
Yeah. And you're talking about Alex having good snaps.
It's
a wet ball.
It's a wet ball today.
Yeah.
He's done, like I said, he's done a great job this year.
Yes, he has.
Got Fox in the backfield. Here's a handoff to Fox. He's going to be hit and dropped in the backfield. Going to lose a yard back to the 5-yard line. Brings up 2nd and goal from the 5.
I don't know if it's a design read or a design handoff, but Blake could pull it every time, and he could have walked in the end zone.
Again, we've got 1:35 to go here, third quarter. Mavs have pretty much had the ball the bulk of the quarter here. Maybe about, what do you say, guys, maybe 2 minutes. Here's a handoff to Fox again, going to be stuffed. Gets inside the 5. I'll spot him at the 4-yard line. We'll bring up 3rd and goal. Guys, the keys here right now for Southside is this is 2 drives that they've been into the red zone here in the second half. They've got to get some points on this one.
Yeah, and I don't know if you try to kick it right here, but, man.
Southside going to take a timeout. And with that timeout, we'll take one too. You're watching Southside Maverick football on the Mavericks Sports Network.
The story of our family business starts back in 1878 when our ancestors settled in Old Town Van Buren and set up shop. We have been providing quality work, craftsmanship with the finest materials available using time-honored and traditional methods. Providing quality service to the River Valley for 6 generations.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, forget about X's and O's. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Welcome back. It'll be 3rd down and goal from the 4-yard line for the Mavs. We've got 51.5 seconds to go here. And, guys, we were talking about what a big series this is for the Mavs, trying to get this in the end zone, need to get some points here. They've been down here twice. This is the 2nd time here in the 3rd quarter. You need to get some points here and maybe kind of stretch that lead up. Again, they'll have Webb in the backfield along with Forsgren. Forsgren looks to throw. He's going to be rushed out. He's going to roll. And will throw the ball. He's going to throw the ball. It's going to be incomplete. Oh, that's a good job by Forsgren, giving his man a chance maybe to get to the football.
This is where Southside's with a young offensive line, and they, Siloam's done a pretty good job of controlling the line of scrimmage.
They'll bring Rodrigo Hernandez in for a field goal attempt off the right hash mark. So it'll be a 21-yard field goal. As Carr McDonald will be on the hold, Alex Little on the snap. Ball is fumbled and on the ground.
Well, it's hard to see through all that rain, but it looked like a pretty good snap.
It was. It hit his hands and bounced off.
I think we saw one ball kick flat off the ground on the extra point earlier and had a couple of fumbled snaps. So that
well,
pretty rough conditions.
Yeah, with your chance, though, to kind of increase that lead, Southside's left a lot of points here in the third quarter. And, they've really dominated. They've had probably time of possession, probably 9.5 minutes here in the third quarter. Hand off at the middle. He's going to be hit. Going to get maybe a yard on the play. Brings up second down, second, 9. And they'll spot him right at the 10-yard line. Maybe time for one more play here. We've got 22 seconds to go here. I guess if you want to look at a bright side on that, guys, is the fact that
you gave them poor field position.
You gave them poor field position. It looks like they're going to let the clock run out and go to the fourth quarter. And that's exactly what they're going to do. And before we start the fourth quarter, let's go ahead and send it back to the studio. You're watching Southside Maverick football on the Mavericks Sports Network.
Dust and they find them for me if they don't have them on the lot. I trust Randall Ford. They've earned my business.
Summer's winding down, but the savings are just getting started. Dive into the end-of-season sale at Burton Pools and Spas. For a limited time, save up to $14,000 on fiberglass pools. And the first 10 customers who purchase an Aquacrete pool with a premium vinyl finish will receive a free hot tub. Don't miss these incredible deals. Visit our stores in Fort Smith, Springdale, or Greenland, or go to burtonpools.com for more details. At Burton, we do more than build swimming pools. We build long-term relationships.
Welcome back to action as we start the fourth quarter here. It'll be second down, second and 9 for the Siloam Springs Panthers. They have the ball on their own 10-yard line. It was a ball possession control there by the Mavs in the third quarter. They had a 14-play drive and a 7-play drive. They ran 21 plays in that quarter compared to 4 for Siloam Springs. So you controlled it, but you got no points. See what they do here in the fourth period. Here's a handoff off the left side. He's going to get outside, and there's a hold off that corner. Going to get the first down. And now we're going to have a flag. That's interesting. No comment.
It'd be something to have 200 yards and penalty yards.
Well, they're going to get. I think they're going to. Let's see what the call is going to be. This may be on South Side.
It is on South Side.
But you had a hold coming off that corner that nobody saw. There's been some puzzling things in here too, Coach. I want to also talk about the extra point for Southside when the kicker and the holder got wiped out on the play.
And no call.
And
wants him thrown out of the game.
That's a big call right there, guys. They'll put him out at the 41-yard line. It's been a typical Southside game. You can't get a field goal in because of a botched hold. You fumbled a potential touchdown. You've had an interception.
Inside handoff, and there he goes.
There's a nice play to the outside. He's going to get up across midfield into Southside territory as Joe Kincannon run him out of bounds at the 46-yard line.
Well,
that's that counter.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
That was Ryan DeStacio on the carry. Be first and 10 at the Southside 46-yard line.
Tell you what,
we used to run that, and gosh, I used to run it. It was a great play for us too. When we used to, there was the trap.
Just a quick hitter up the middle there.
They've done a pretty good job at stopping that.
Victor Toledo on the carry, going to get about 3 yards. Guys, this is a big series here. If they're able to take it down and get 7 points, and you think about the missed opportunities that the Mavericks left out there in the third quarter, I mean, you've got a ball game here, still 28-14.
It is a ball game.
Going to go outside this time to the right. It's going to get inside the 40-yard line down to the south side 38-yard line. Big old Ethan Dunn getting off the pile.
They're going to speed it up because they figured out they're going to run same play.
Give him much that time.
Going to be caught. I think he might have got the first down, though. You've got one guy standing.
I know.
It's on a 37-yard line. Yeah, it'll be about – he's going to be short.
Yeah, it's short.
And then, like you said, Coach, they're probably going to go tempo right here.
Well, the thing about tempo, too, is it also about drawing offsides, too.
Yep.
See what they want to do here. It's an inside handoff. He's got the first down. Yeah, that's Victor Toledo on the carry. Be 1st and 10 for Siloam. A nice drive here, guys. They started this drive on their own 9-yard line.
Trap.
And off the inside, going to get about 5 more yards. You talk about staying ahead of the sticks. That's what Siloam's done on this series. Also aided pretty much by that penalty on the Mavs. We've got an injured Panther on the play, and with that injury, let's go ahead and take a timeout. You're watching Southside Maverick Football on the Mavericks Sports Network.
I bought my first vehicle from Randall as a used car back in '77. I bought a first new truck in '96 from them, an F-250. Ever since then, I've stuck with Randall. They understand my business, and as a contractor, my trucks take a beating. Randall Ford has the product, and they find them for me if they don't have them on the lot. I trust Randall Ford. They've earned my business.
Summer's winding down, but the savings are just getting started. Dive into the end-of-season sale at Burton Pools and Spas. For a limited time, save up to $14,000 on fiberglass pools. And the first 10 customers who purchase an Aquacrete pool with a premium vinyl finish will receive a free hot tub. Don't miss these incredible deals. Visit our stores in Fort Smith, Springdale, or Greenland, or go to BurtonPools.com for more details. At Burton, we do more than build swimming pools. We build long-term relationships.
Welcome back to action. We've got 10:04 to go here in the ball game. Southside leads 28-14. It'll be 2nd down, 2nd and 5 for the Panthers. Very impressive drive for the Panthers. They started this drive on their 9-yard line. 7 plays later at the Southside 26-yard line. There's a handoff the middle. He's going to have the first down. They're going to push it down the line down to about the 15-yard line. Now a gain of 11 on the play.
They're running the wing tee. I mean, pretty much to the perfection now. I mean, they're kind of gashing Southside.
Coach,
particularly with a lot of the misdirection plays.
And Coach, you've also said too, you and Terrell were both talking about this, they've really sped the game up too.
Yeah.
There's a handoff again, and he's going to fight his way forward and will be knocked back after maybe about a 2-yard gain. This will be the 10th play of this drive. We're down to 9:33 to go here.
Well, this is where you need one of those little turnovers right here, Keith.
Here's an inside handoff, and he's going to get inside the 10-yard line. Bring up 3rd down. That was Gio Flores on the carry.
3rd and 4. 3rd and 5.
Guys, a very impressive drive, though, by Siloam coming out here, getting the hold on defense again, and then 10 plays later inside the Southside 10-yard line, 3rd down, 3rd and 4. Inside handoff, and he's going to get this. Flores gets inside the 5-yard line down to about the 3-yard line.
That's a trap. That's a different way of running.
Quick handoff off the side. Let's see. He's going to fight his way down, and no call yet. They're going to spot him at the 1-yard line. We've got 8:30 to go here in the ball game. Got 1 yard to go here. This will be the 13th play of this drive that started at the Siloam 9-yard line. Hand off to the inside, and they hit him.
He didn't make it.
Didn't get in.
Well, the wind's blowing now, Keith.
Good stand here by the Southside defense. We're down to 7:56 to go in the ball game. Be third down, 3rd and goal. Quarterback sneak on the play, and touchdown.
The old brotherly shove.
Dane Marlatt on the touchdown. It's his 2nd touchdown of the night. Gentlemen, a very impressive drive, 14 plays, 91 yards, culminating with the 1-yard touchdown by Dane Marlatt. And guys, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Marlett's thrown maybe 3 pass attempts tonight, completing 1.
Yeah, that's right. He did complete that screen pass, didn't he?
Ball was down on the extra point. Extra point up, and it's good. Now it's 28-21.
Well, we got a little work to do, Keith.
Well, I go back to the missed opportunities that the Mavs had. You had the tunnel screen on the inside that, as you said, Coach, probably would have been a touchdown run.
Because he was fixing to cut it back, and he just lost the ball. That's,
Then you get 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line. You run 3 plays, can't get it. You are going to attempt a field goal that doesn't happen. Again, this is a big series for Southside. Mavs have done a pretty good job tonight of returning kickoffs. You had that first half touchdown kickoff by Peyton Zimmerman, and then every one of their returns have been outside past the 30-yard line. And that's what you want to get if you can. So
I just want to watch them kick it back to Peyton again. They kicked to him all night.
Well, they've actually got him on the opposite side this time. That's a left-handed kicker, so we'll see what they do here. They're going to kind of move up a bit. See if maybe they want to try an onside here. And it is going to be an onside kick. It takes a nice bounce, and it's going to be fielded. A good job by the Southside player to field the ball. That's Peyton Zimmerman. That's always scary, guys, when you see about 3 or 4 hops on an onside kick.
See, that was the word. When those guys on the front line, that's one thing they've been talking about, onside kicks. They're when you have what they would call them gunners or whatever, they come down and they're not. Only thing they're going for is to take out one of the guys on the front line, and that's what happened. I don't know who they hit, but
to me, that's one of those plays, though, I think it's a very dangerous play.
It is.
To do that, and that's one thing I think should be outlawed in football. We saw it a couple of years ago up in Fayetteville where the Southside player, he was down on the field for a good 15 minutes.
Yes, I remember that.
And, I don't think it's you want to try and make the game safer, and that's definitely one thing you do. I hope they don't ever do this, so, guys, I hope they don't go and decide they want to do like pro football has done on the kickoffs. I still haven't figured that out yet.
It's weird. And I keep seeing people get hurt. Anytime there's a run back, it seems like they're getting hurt in that new kickoff scheme too.
And Mavericks still down on the field. Let's go ahead and take a timeout here. You're watching Southside Maverick football on the Maverick Sports Network.
I bought my first vehicle from Randall as a used car back in '77. I bought a first new truck in '96 from them, an F-250. Ever since then, I've stuck with Randall. They understand my business, and as a contractor, my trucks take a beating. Randall Ford has the product, and they find them for me if they don't have them on the lot. I trust Randall Ford. They've earned my business.
Have you been to the River Valley's only multi-sport facility? Then let's hang out. The Hangout in Fort Smith is the only sports facility that offers indoor tennis and pickleball, indoor and outdoor basketball, and has now added multiple soccer fields. Soccer leagues are forming soon. Did you know the Hangout also has an 8,000 square foot fitness center with bar, yoga, HIIT, and Pilates classes? The Hangout, 5400 Gary Street, or thehangoutfs.com. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
From the minute you walk into Randall Ford, they greet you, they're kind, they're going to ask you what you need, what you're looking for, and they're all very friendly, even down to the service department. Those guys are so kind. The salesmen are going to make sure that you know that vehicle before you leave the lot. They're going to review the details, all the features of the vehicle, so you can leave with confidence knowing that the vehicle you're in, how to drive it. Randall Ford really listened to me, and I drove away with exactly what I wanted.
Family, it's bigger than bloodlines, stronger than DNA. It's the circle we draw around the people that matter, the people we care about and care for, the folks who inspire us, guide us, root for us. Family means finding common ground, rolling up our sleeves, and making our way side by side. Armstrong Bank. Strength runs in our family.
Between life, work, and family, sometimes the person that you need to take care of the most is you.
At Fort Smith Therapy Health and Wellness, you're never alone. Through our counseling, we can help you regain control of your emotions, mental health, and life. We provide both face-to-face and virtual therapy services. Whether it's for your child, family, or yourself, Fort Smith Therapy is here to help your true self shine through.
Schedule your appointment today with Fort Smith Therapy Health.
The story of our family business starts back in 1878 when our ancestors settled in Old Town Van Buren and set up shop. We have been providing quality work, craftsmanship with the finest materials available using time-honored and traditional methods. Providing quality service to the River Valley for 6 generations.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, forget about X's and O's. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
I bought my first vehicle from Randall as a used car back in '77. I bought a first new truck in '96 from them, an F-250. Ever since then, I've stuck with Randall. They understand my business, and as a contractor, my trucks take a beating. Randall Ford has the product, and they find them for me if they don't have them on the lot. I trust Randall Ford. They've earned my business.
Summer's winding down, but the savings are just getting started. Dive into the end-of-season sale at Burton Pools and Spas. For a limited time, save up to $14,000 on fiberglass pools. And the first 10 customers who purchase an AquaCrete pool with a premium vinyl finish will receive a free hot tub. Don't miss these incredible deals. Visit our stores in Fort Smith, Springdale, or Greenland, or go to burtonpools.com for more details. At Burton, we do more than build swimming pools. We build long-term relationships.
Have you been to the River Valley's only multi-sport facility? Then let's hang out. The Hangout in Fort Smith is the only sports facility that offers indoor tennis and pickleball, indoor and outdoor basketball, and has now added multiple soccer fields. Soccer leagues are forming soon. Did you know the Hangout also has an 8,000 square foot fitness center with bar, yoga, HIIT, and Pilates classes? The Hangout, 5400 Gary Street, or thehangoutfs.com. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
From the minute you walk into Randall Ford, they greet you, they're kind, they're going to ask you what you need, what you're looking for, and they're all very friendly, even down to the service department. Those guys are so kind. The salesmen are going to make sure that you know that vehicle before you leave the lot. They're going to review the details, all the features of the vehicle, so you can leave with confidence knowing that the vehicle you're in, how to drive it. Randall Ford really listened to me, and I drove away with exactly what I wanted.
Family, It's bigger than bloodlines, stronger than DNA. It's the circle we draw around the people that matter, the people we care about and care for, the folks who inspire us, guide us, root for us. Family means finding common ground, rolling up our sleeves, and making our way side by side. Armstrong Bank. Strength runs in our family.
Welcome back to Panthers Stadium. We've got 7:41 to go here. We're still in an injury timeout here. Southside recovered the onside kick at the 42-yard line. That's where we'll start this drive, guys. And it's been one of those quarters for the Mavs. They had a couple of chances to get some points and really get some separation, and didn't get a field goal off, and then had a fumble, which kind of been their season this year. It's been the turnovers that they made. They've made some mistakes there, and give credit to this Siloam team. They took the ball over at their own 9-yard line. They run a 14-play drive, get a touchdown, and as you guys alluded to, they really kind of sped the offense up, which really kind of made a difference there. Kind of put Southside back on their heels a bit, and trying to react to things. Give credit to this Siloam team for when you got down 28-7, you could have down 0-6, you could have given up pretty easy, but they fought back into this ball game.
Yeah, and recovering the onside kick is going to be used, and since we've had this delay, just going to see who's going to have the momentum coming out, because both teams standing around and watching this, and this is kind of a downer for Southside having a kid injured like this. So
here's my question for you, Coach. I mean, I understand why you kick an onside kick right there, but do you not really kind of, I don't necessarily say give Southside points, but, if you kick that thing off and you pin them back deep, then, they got a lot more chance to make mistakes, right?
Well, yeah, but the thing about it is that they've kicked it deep every time, and Southside has came close to returning it for
It did get one, yeah.
Yeah, and so they have gotten one. So, I think that the onside kick is, that's probably what I'd have done. I mean, you're going to give it to them at the 2-yard line, but, their defense has played pretty good this second half. Even though Southside drove the ball, but, and then the last possession was aided by the roughing the punter penalty, and so it's I think it was a good move, and unfortunate for Southside kid being injured on that. Can you tell me what number he was?
I still can't tell.
Yeah, we don't want to speculate if we can't get the number.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and to your point, I mean, if they recover that onside kick, it's a genius move.
Well, and they've also showed, too, guys, the ability, starting that last drive at their 9-yard line, that they can move the ball down the field. And for the most part, they really did it fairly quick. That was probably
right.
I think we had just barely a little bit of time there in the third quarter, and then they were able to move it down probably within like 4 minutes. So, I mean, they've got time to do it, and you're only one score down. So they're feeling the confidence, and you look on that other side, and if you're Southside, you've been through this before. You know what you got to do, and it's not you hope it's not one of those situations where they're getting on their mind that, oh no, this is happening again. But they're going to have to come out and make some plays.
Mm-hmm. It starts with this one.
And we didn't get the number of the young man, and we're not going to even speculate on who it might be. They're going to take him off the field. Always hate to see that anytime, and especially in the last game of the year. Yeah,
last quarter of the last game.
Well, it looked like it was a lower leg injury, so.
I got an ambulance waiting for him over there in the corner of the end zone. And Southside will start this drive on their 42-yard line, and feel a little pressure now. Only ahead by 7. Had a chance to really put the game away in the third quarter. Weren't able to do it. And you keep a team hanging around long enough, and then they work their way back in, and then the game changes. And also, your feeling on how you handle the ball and the way you run plays changes a lot too, guys.
Correct.
Not sure what they're doing here. I guess we're going to have a warm-up.
Oh, yeah. It's interesting. I'm watching this flag over here in the end zone. That thing's actually blowing uphill.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
It's pretty good. And
That's a little,
here's
little breezy.
Here's what's crazy about that. Southside got the ball to start the second half. And the wind was blowing with the wind, and now Southside's going against the wind, and they should have been. The wind's shifted. It's gone from the south completely
Look
out
at
the north.
Look at the goalposts, though. It's like the flags on the one goalpost are going one way. Flags on the other goalposts are going the other.
That is right.
Really weird.
Flag is going. The wind You're right.
That is strange.
Well, guys, I'll just say this from looking out there. It looks like it's really cold out there.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm here.
Well, I would say, guys, I'm glad I'm up here, but it's cold up here, too.
Yeah, but it's dry.
It's dry.
We've got to talk to Coach Williams about maybe putting some heat in this place.
Absolutely.
Again, Southside will have first down on their own 42-yard line as they're going to go back and huddle up here as they'll wait now for Siloam to come back out.
So I guess if I'm looking at that right, it doesn't really matter where you are. You have the wind to your back kicking the field goal.
Well, there was one situation, I can't remember which quarter. It might have been the last quarter where they let the clock run out. No, I think it was maybe in the first quarter. They let the clock run out, which kind of makes sense. If you got that swirling wind, you see it going your way, because I'll tell you what, that's not going to be something easy to throw into.
No.
You need to.
No, it won't.
But what's weird about it looks like the flags are both blowing in opposite directions.
It's the weirdest thing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, Coach Pogue's about to get under the table. He's waiting on that tornado.
I know. It is.
Hey, listen, I'm not staying up here.
I'll tell you guys a funny story about that. Me and Buzz Sawyer did a game. We were playing El Dorado, and they had this storm moving in. It was bad. They had both the teams go in the locker room, and me and Buzz just sat up there in the press box, probably the worst place you could be.
Mm-hmm.
First and 10 for the Mavs. It's going to be an inside tunnel screen that's complete across midfield.
There he goes.
Zimmerman, he's at the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Southside.
Well, there's your answer.
Yeah, there's your answer. Great call, great play. I'd almost make sure that he touched the ball 15 times a game.
Guys, the thing about
because he does. He's just a player.
The thing about Zimmerman too. Even with the struggles that Southside has, I think he's all. I don't think he's just 6A All-State. I think he's on the super team this year.
I agree with you. You try. Well, what position would you put him in? All-purpose position. Because he returns kicks off, he plays defense.
Yeah, because he was closing in on. Have you seen more penalties on special teams tonight?
I've seen more demotion penalties. I don't know whether that's because of the code.
But Zimmerman, that was a 58-yard touchdown, and I know he was getting close going into last week. I didn't get my stats this week, but he was upwards over 800 yards coming into this ball game, and he's had a couple of really nice runs here. But then you look at the total yards, counting his kickoff returns and stuff, and I bet he's easily over 1,500 yards.
Mm-hmm.
There's the extra point up, and it's good by Rodrigo Hernandez. Southside now leads 35-21.
Huge. But, y'all were talking about next year running back. I wouldn't be surprised to put him back there running.
Well, we've seen him do a little running.
Yeah.
Who was that again? Was that Van Buren where they went with the two backs?
Mm-hmm.
I like that formation.
Yeah, and he looked good back there. But I don't know, man. He was a really good quarterback in Little League too, so it wouldn't surprise me to see him go.
Well, guys, I compare
take some snaps.
Yeah, guys, I compare him to Luke Wyatt when I watch him play. The shiftiness and the moves, you always kind of hold your breath whenever Luke touched the ball, and there's always a chance that he's maybe one step away from taking it to the house every time. And I see the same thing with Peyton Zimmerman.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure.
Mr. Zimmerman, I guess, will transition into baseball after this. He was the starting right fielder last year for the Maverick baseball team, and along with Forsgren, who I think was the first baseman.
One of the better bats, too.
Big series here for the Southside defense coming up. Got 7:28 to go here in the ball game. Going to be a short kick that's going to hit and take a bounce. Going to be fielded. On the return, we'll get across the 30-yard line up to the 31. That's Victor Toledo on the return. Gentlemen, I want you all to talk about, too, I'm looking down there on the field. You got number 7, Jordan McDaniel, in the ball game, and he's been a very pleasant surprise for this Southside defense, along with Marion Johnson.
Yeah, Jordan moved here from Conway back during the summer. Yeah, he started, he was originally from here, played 7th grade ball at Chaffin, then moved away, and he's done a really good job.
We got that stack formation again. They're going to run an outside play here. Got a flag on the play.
How can you? Okay, I was going to say, how can you not call that a hold? I mean, he just grabbed his arm and.
That was Ron DeStatio on the carry, but he'll come back.
The Southside's got to do a better job of protecting the edge on that.
Gentlemen, wouldn't you say, though, in this ball game that both teams have some positives coming out of this game that they can carry forward to next year?
I would have to say that Siloam, I would stick with the same offense. I mean, you can control the game by running this. They're going to run it the other way. And they've done a good job of running those plays. It's just kind of like a buck sweep.
Yeah, it was Mason Short on the carry. Leigh Prince Jr. over there for the Mavs. They've got another injury, and looks like it may be a cramp here. We'll go ahead and keep it here. But, guys, what a big play for Southside. Peyton Zimmerman, a big ball game here, 58-yard, just a tunnel screen. And that's one of those plays that you'll look at your stats tomorrow on as far as your quarterback, Blake Forsgren. He'll have a lot of passing yards, but you got to thank Mr. Zimmerman for, really making a couple of nice cuts in there. And then once he got to the outside, it looked like maybe the safety might catch up to him. He turns it on, takes it to the house for the touchdown. Really did the bulk of the work on that. But what a big play it was for Southside to get that lead back up.
Well, that's the same play they ran down here in the third quarter, where he was fixing to make a cut, and he just lost the ball. And
yeah, that hold was down the field because it'll be 1st and 5. Actually, they got it. But they got it 2nd and 15. That'll be the
inside
2nd and
handoff.
15. That'll be an inside handoff here. They'll get the ball over to Destasio again. Gets the ball up to about the 32-yard line. We'll bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 9. Again, 6:46 to go here in the ball game. Southside leads 35-21. Be a lot of people glad that we were kind of joking, no overtime. There's a lot of people sitting in the stands right now. They're probably saying the same thing. Here's a handoff to the inside, and good job by the Southside defense.
Southside's done better on the trap. They have mixed the trap in with the what they call the buck sweep, and then the inside handoff count. It's just basically a counter play.
Yeah, that was Maddox Perez in there making the charge there for the South Side. The defensive line's played. The defensive line, for the most part, guys, I think it's had a good year. You had to replace some big players over there, and they'll go for it here on 4th down.
Reverse.
There's a good play by Southside, going to get him in the backfield. I will get the number. That was number 92 for Southside, really. Peyton Perez didn't make the tackle, Coach, but he was able to come in there and really disrupt the play and force him back to the inside.
That might have been the same, it might have been the same one that forced him in last time too, that didn't make a tackle.
You know who else was in on that tackle? Chitwood. We were talking about him earlier. It was good to see him out there.
Yeah, I think he's going to be one of your ones next year that's going to step up. Yeah, he's a big special teams guy.
And he's not scared to hit anybody.
No.
He's pretty good.
He had a couple of plays. I remember the Northside game, a couple of big special teams plays. So he'll have Joaquin Fox in the backfield. Here's a handoff to Fox. That's a good run. Going to get about 6 yards on the play.
I think that's his best run of the night right there. And back to Coach's point, right up the middle. Running that inside zone.
Well, you're in a situation now you can also work that clock down if you so desire.
Yeah, you kind of look at it and you tell them to snap it about, 7, 6, 5 seconds somewhere left on the clock. And I see Coach Key, they signal everything in, so they're, signaling things in late.
Yeah, taking their time.
They're taking their time on it.
Bring up second down, 2nd and 4, just about approaching 5 minutes to go here in the ball game. Again, here's a handoff again to Walking Fox. You're right there, Coach. I was looking at that handoff. I think if Forsgren keeps the ball, he walks in the end zone.
He might have been trying to pull it and walk in. That's the one thing about the back. Sometimes they hold, they make a pocket and they won't give the ball back to it. Let them pull it.
That always brings me back to that story I always tell every year about the two brothers that played, I believe it was football at the boys club or at the Stevens boys club, and one was the quarterback, the other was the running back. He would hand the ball off the running back. He scored all the touchdowns. So finally the quarterback got tired and he tackled the running back. So I've got a flag on the play. I don't know how many penalties we've had in this ball game tonight.
I'm telling you, it's going to be close to 200 yards. You had all those.
15-yarders.
Yeah, those 15-yarders add up in a hurry.
Yeah.
We've had 3 personal fouls I know of. Got a couple of calls too, though, because I'm with you, Coach. I tend to wonder about that roughing the punter penalty. Bring up 3rd down. And I got a question on that too, guys. Those Aussie punters that get out there and they run like they do, are they fair game when they run with the football?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the keeper, Bob Forsgren makes a nice man miss. He's at the 15-yard line, at the 10-yard line. Will fight his way down to about the 7-yard line.
That looked pretty.
Hey, Blake's had some nice runs tonight. He's just not been able to get it to the house.
They hadn't started the clock yet.
I'll tell you, your chain gang, they're going to lay the chains down now.
Yeah, but they ran that whole play and never ran the clock.
They're trying to make up for that 10 seconds that Siloam lost right there at the half, too. There's been a lot of things in this game. I guess maybe the cold is kind of slowing it down a bit. And Southside they've got a chance to run off quite a bit of time here if they so desire, down to 3:52. And they still got 20 seconds on the play clock.
But you know what? Every time Blake has pulled the ball,
it's gone big.
He has gained positive yardage.
He's made some nice moves too. Yeah, to get in. They got Joaquin Fox. It'd be nice to see Joaquin get in the end zone here. Here's a handoff to Fox. He's going to be hit and knocked down at the 6-yard line. Bring up 2nd goal from the 6. Got to start feeling pretty good about this ball game now with 3:18 to go here. Be 2nd down goal from the 6-yard line for the Mavs. Gonna let that clock run down to 14 seconds. Exactly 3 minutes to go here in the ball game. Southside gonna hustle up here. Got 5 seconds on the play clock. Good time of usage there. Here's a handoff to Joaquin Fox. Touchdown, Southside.
There you go. Like to see him do that.
Good for him.
Mm-hmm. He's one of those guys, I've literally been watching him play for 10 years straight. He's on one of the very first teams I coached.
It's good to see.
He's a good kid, a good young man.
There's the extra point. He got it down. Let's see. It's good.
It might be ugly, but it's good.
Oh, wow.
Gives that lead to 42-21. We've got 2:46 to go here in the ball game. I got to give credit to that offensive line. I'm just kind of looking there. I've got some numbers there. Hayden Eckelhoff along with big old number 58, Josh Chung, 74, who's only a sophomore, Landon Grimm. I mean,
You also had Gordon Castling, 78.
Gordon Castling in there, yeah, and
Well, Nick Arnold been hurt, so he started last year for him.
got 2:46 to go here in the ball game. So Southside got to feel pretty good right now with a 21-point lead. But again, a good effort by both teams tonight. Siloam coming up, got that lead down to 28-21, had all the momentum. Then what a great play call, as you alluded to, Coach. The tunnel screen to Peyton Zimmerman. Makes the first two guys miss, then runs the outside, and it's just a race to the end zone. Touchdown, Southside. It's good to see Joaquin Fox get out there and get a touchdown. Big night for Jaden Webb, though, too. 3 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns for Peyton Zimmerman. I guess the one guy's probably feeling kind of left out on this is probably Blake Forsgren, because he's actually taken the ball down to the goal line 2 or 3 times and made some nice runs and wasn't able to punch it in.
Well, did you see that right there? Big hug.
Well, yeah, because this is his last go around.
One series.
Yeah, what a great safety for the Mavericks. And receiver, too.
Exactly.
There's a pass going to be incomplete. Tried to get the ball out there to Jackson Anderson.
Did you not see what they were going to try to do? They're going to run the hook.
Yeah,
they're going to run the hook and lateral on that.
Jensen knew they're taking out Maddox Perez coming out of the ball game. And there goes Kincannon checking out of the ball game. And going off to the left side is going to be hit and going to get a couple of yards. We'll bring up third down, third and about 7 to go. Again, remember, folks, we'll have basketball coming up.
Is that 13 at safety?
Tanner Stacy?
Yeah, I couldn't see his number.
We've got 23 out there. Miles Selby's out there.
Okay, that's me, yeah.
Going to try to take the ball deep, and he is open on the play, and the ball is tipped away. The ball hung up just a bit, long enough for the defender to get back on it. Again, we start basketball up here in a couple of weeks. As far as our coverage, we've got a ball game against Van Buren on the 25th.
It's Jack Gearhart, number 46. Jack's been, he was started out as a ninth grader.
He's a senior too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a senior. Great young man. And that's where a kid, I'm sure that he hadn't gotten to play very much, and that's what everybody. I heard them all kind of cheering for him when he went in for Joseph, and just when you see kids, and I know parents get upset sometimes because their kids not getting to play and what have you, and as a coach, you just you love to play them all the time, play every kid in every game, but then. It doesn't always work out that way. But you take a young man like that who has stuck it out all 3 years, an opportunity just to be a part of a team environment. And even though the wins and losses have not been probably what they wanted, but it's good for those guys.
Well, and he's in for a win, so there you go.
Got a happy sideline over there for the Mavs. That's good to see. It's been one of those years where a lot of things haven't come out the way they wanted it to. But, and it's like I said, guys, it's weird for me because I look at this team. This team is not a team that should be 0-6 in conference coming in.
A little break here and there, and then let's say turnovers and penalties that's killed them this year. So.
Exactly. Want to throw the ball, they'll take it ball deep down the field, and there's Lee Prince over there is going to tip it away and is actually almost caught off the rebound.
But you know what? I know he probably wanted an interception, but better off because that was fourth down.
Yep.
And I'm sure he wasn't thinking about something like that. He wanted the interception, but they tell him that's the reason why you're playing defensive back.
And we'll see Lee Prince here in another week or two.
He'll be shooting those threes.
Yep. we joked with him last week. We were talking about him playing against the Shepherd kid over at Northside, and those two were just
They were at each
they
other.
were going at each other and having a pretty good little conversation. And Coach Adams said, "I think they weren't saying anything." So, but it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch. It's like Southside going to go victory formation here.
Favorite thing I heard out of that interview with Coach Adams last week was Brunk says we need to mic him up. And he said, who's that going to be good for?
Then we have like FCC rules.
That's right. He said, I don't know if that's fit for a high school program.
Southside going to let the clock run here. Going to win this ball game tonight 42-21 and can work a lot of time. They'll be under a minute before they have to snap this one. I'm looking forward to basketball season. Like I said, they've got I know both coaches are excited. Coach Stewart Adams actually has a little bit of height this year. He really hasn't had that. And the only thing I told him this last week, the only frustrating thing I see is I look at Northwest Arkansas, and you got Springdale with the Seeley kid back, 4-star recruit. What are they going to have to go with him? Well, what do you got there? You got this 6'8" kid sophomore from Fayetteville that moves over there. That's probably another 4-star. So. Going to take another knee here. Southside will have to run one more play. Coach, you'll be happy to know that's not going to be an overtime tonight. We'll tell Coach Beaumont it's not in our contract that we'd have to pack it up if it was overtime. But a good win for the Mavs, a good win for the seniors, and this is what you need to go into the offseason.
They started out good, and things didn't work out.
Take a knee here, and that'll be your ball game. And it's been kind of weird, too, guys. It's just like this season is just, to me, is just flown by.
Flown by, for sure.
That's what happens when you get older, Keith. It just flies by.
I know that. Yeah. I ask about somebody's kid or something, it seems like they've aged 10 years every time I do. And I don't think I do, but I guess I do. So.
My wife and I went to a pep rally today at Rogers High School. My granddaughter, she's a junior cheerleader there, and she asked me, said, what's that 2026 on her pants leg? And that's where the year they graduated. I said, that's the year she graduated. She goes, oh my gosh, where has time gone? We're going to have a granddaughter that be graduating from high school. And I said, oh, I know.
I understand. That's how it is. But, guys, what a good win for the Mavs tonight as they win this ball game 42-21. You kind of look at the scoring summary tonight. You had 2 touchdowns for Peyton Zimmerman, 3 touchdowns for Jaden Webb, and then what I thought was a really great play there at the end, a nice 5-yard touchdown run by Joaquin Fox, guys, to end his Southside career.
No, really, and he's another one that's just done a really good job of just being a part of something, working hard, and to get to a point where, he contributes. He's huge when to give Jaden a rest.
And, guys, the thing for me doing these broadcasts is the saddening thing for me is people like Joseph Kincannon that we've called his name several times in 3 years. You look at players like that, the Jaden Webbs, Don Parkinson, these kids that won't be here next year. It's going to be a whole new group up here. But, obviously, you got a lot of returners on this team coming up next year. So, there's a good chance Southside ought to have a pretty good team coming into next year. You're going to have to rebuild that defense a bit, but offensively they should be pretty tough.
Yes, they should. They pretty much got, other than the running back spot, they pretty much have about everybody coming back on offense.
Gentlemen, as we wrap up this season again, I just want to make this point. We've got a basketball game coming up on the 25th against Van Buren, a doubleheader that will be at Mavericks Arena. It'll be a lot of fun as we get started with basketball. It's kind of one of those saddening things in the fact that we're not making the playoffs this year, but, it is a fact of life that sometimes it doesn't happen. That's what happened this year with the Southside team. And just like I said, it was just a weird year, and Coach, you put it well. It's been the turnovers, the penalties, and such that it really set this team back. And, if they can correct that going into next year, expectations will be high.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, it's they ought to. Blake's having another, having a year under his belt, and and Wilson Keith did a great job coming in. And,
yes, he did.
And filling in for him when Blake was injured, and but they, they'll there'll be the expectations, will be probably a little bit higher. It should be. You should expect to, when every game you should expect to win, and that's what this bunch has got to need to start, believing in themselves a little bit more.
Exactly.
They can do it.
And that offensive line coming back, guys, I think it's going to be a key. Final thoughts on tonight's ball game or this season?
Well, you touched on some of those guys. I mean, obviously Joaquin's kind of probably the closest one to me, and it's going to be sad to watch those guys walk off of this field for the last time, and it's been a long time watching those guys. But the one thing that's really nice is that they're going to walk off with a W under their belt,
right?
And so that's huge. I'm really glad they got to get that as a little going away present. And like you said, I mean, we're on to basketball, and it's been a pleasure, Keith. Again, appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for getting me involved in this and inviting me to a few of these games.
Yeah, I'm glad you came up and came with us, Coach. We were a little concerned that we tend to get on some things that maybe we shouldn't get on sometimes. You might have to keep us in line, but
never know.
You're kind of one of us now, so
that's right.
Yeah, but gentlemen, I want to say this: I appreciate both you guys, the job you guys have done. I know Maverick Nation out there appreciates. I was about to say Rebel Nation, but Maverick Nation actually appreciates the insights that you guys bring to the game because it's a very important part of everything we do. And I thank you guys for everything. And I think we've got a team. And I also want to thank the girls that have been doing the camera work and Mr. Piper, the job he's done for us. I think this year, to me, it gets better each year. I think this is, to me, has been the best year that we've had as far as doing broadcast. And I was bragging on the girls last week. They got on there and we're doing sideline filming and doing things. And Mr. Piper's up here really coordinating that, getting it over there. And we're seeing things improve each year. And, I can't wait till next year. And actually can't wait till basketball season. And I tell people this, I laugh because they took us out of that little room where we had to use the joystick to keep up with the game. Don't have to do that anymore. And we're actually out in the crowd, out on the court. So a lot of fun doing that. And just everything with the Maverick Sports Network's going in the right direction. And, again, I thank you guys so much for helping me. And, at some point I might buy you guys dinner at some point in lieu of the pay that we get on this. So
we get paid a lot, don't we?
That's why I kind of joke they can't fire us because we don't. That's all the pay we get.
Well,
so
I remember when you first started talking to me about doing this, and you said, "Man, you won't really have to worry too much about this affecting your taxes because you're not going to get paid anything." So.
Yeah, if I did buy you a Whataburger, I don't think
That's
that goes down as a tax. But again, guys, appreciate the job y'all do, and it's been a fun year. I always enjoy every year I get to do this, to be around the kids, to be around the coaches, to be around you guys, and. Terrell, I appreciate what you do. We've been able to work together for, I believe, the last 3 years. And really enjoyed it. Coach Pogue, I've known you forever, and I was really surprised that after knowing you forever that you'd actually come up and help me from knowing me, but I appreciate it.
This is one of those things my wife says, can you find anything else to do? Because I feel like I'm supposed to be retired, but then on the other hand, I keep finding things to keep me busy, but that's a good thing. I don't.
Well, they're going to kick us out someday because we were having trouble seeing the numbers at times. So we know what that is. We just won't admit it.
I need to probably bring my glasses. I don't know.
I've got my reading glasses, but not my field glasses. But guys, again, a great job. Again, Southside wins the ball game tonight over Siloam Springs in the final ball game of 2024 for Southside Mavericks. They win this ball game tonight, 42-21. Again, a big game for Jaden Webb, a big game for Peyton Zimmerman, and then the final touchdown by Joaquin Fox. Good to see the Mavs pull a win out here. And, again, I think they've got high expectations next year. Can't wait. Actually, I can't wait till next year. Let's get on with basketball, have a good year there, and then we'll go on. Again, thank everybody that was involved in this, getting this thing going, and things are only going to get better. We want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight, and everybody have a great weekend, and go Mavs.
Thanks.